Meitei, Director MSME-DI IMPHAL, to share the key note address related to this program. So I just hand over the mic to Mr. Meitei, please. Kindly share your viewpoint, sir.
Sir.
You, sir. Am I
okay,
audible?
Before going to this
yes, sir.
Keynote address, I think I'm better to give the welcome address first, and so then that they can
continue. Oh, okay.
Because otherwise it will.
I thought you are the president. That's why, Alice, I just wanted to put you at the end.
So okay, time is running out. Yeah, just because I will take only 2 minutes time because the time is running out. Okay. So then after me, the Meitei Sahib, you take the keynote address. Okay, let me start it. Good afternoon, dear friends. Respected Director Trade, Commerce and Industry, Sri L. Bikram Singh, IS, Sri T.S. Meitei, Joint Director in charge MSME-DI IMPHAL, Professor and Director, Center for Entrepreneurship and Skill Development, Manipur University, Dr. C.S. Ibohal Meitei, Mrs. Join Chaudhary, FIEO, Kolkata, Eastern Region, Shri Kaushik Datta, FIEO, Guwahati, and dear participants. We are organizing this 5-day webinar on international marketing and its challenges as short duration export-import management course to empower and familiarize our local entrepreneurs in international marketing so that we can compete in the international arena and reach our products or brands around the globe. Yes, we know your products are very tasty, yummy, very good quality, cheap in price, but they remain in local markets and competing ourselves only. Because of this, profit margins are so low and sustainability of our units became a big question. Not only that, ultimately, it gives increase of sick industrial units, MSMEs, and unemployment. Why we cannot see beyond the local or regional market? When some of our friends successful in export, why not we? It is big question in our mind. We have so many rare natural resources, and with the same natural resources available here, other entrepreneurs buying from our farmers and exporting to foreign countries, of course, they may do some valuable additional work, processing work. Why our experienced, talented, resourceful, brilliant, dynamic, hardworking, energetic entrepreneurs cannot do, and someone's able to do it. With this idea, we, the All Manipur Entrepreneurs Association, Industry Department, nowadays it is popularly known as the Trade, Commerce and Industry, Government of Manipur, MSME-DI IMPHAL, Government of India, Federation of Indian Export Organizations, and Center for Entrepreneurship and Skill Development, Manipur University, jointly organizing this 5 days webinar. Please participate this short duration program seriously and help to empower yourself. We are drawing faculties, resource persons from different pools of experts, including premier institutes like Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, Kolkata, Indian Institute of Packaging, Kolkata, ILEX, Kolkata, New Delhi, and other export houses, so that you will be more practical than bookish knowledge. You will have other opportunities like directly interaction with the reputed exporters, as we invited them from different regions. They will share their experiences how to overcome any challenges while in export business and international marketing. I hope it is really a rare opportunity for all of us, and such opportunity may not come again and again. So friends, take the full advantage from this webinar and make yourself a successful entrepreneur. For any doubt, clarification, please feel free to contact me or Professor Dr. C.S. Ibohal Meitei, who will be the moderator or the host, and Mrs. Ruin Chaudhary, FIEO Eastern Region Kolkata office. She will be the co-host, and Sri Tarun Thoksom will assist them and contact a corporate and coordinate you as a coordinator of the AMEA. With these few words, I request every participant to participate and join the program seriously and try to get maximum benefit from this short duration 5 days program. With these few words, let me conclude. Thank you all once again.
Okay, thank you, Sir S. Rishi Kumar Singh, President, All Manipur Entrepreneurs Association, for just addressing the welcome speech. Well, just to continue the programs, I just would like to request Mr. T.S. Baite, Director in charge, MSME-DI IMPHAL, to kindly just deliver the keynote address. In between, I just would like to know whether the team from FIEO has arrived. Our co-host, Mr. Zunin Chaudhary, is here.
Sir, I have already joined and thank you so much. And good evening.
Okay. Thank you. The next time, but then I just would like to share with you. So I request Mr. Baite to kindly just deliver your speech.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. This audible, at least at my end.
Good evening, everybody. Once again, I welcome all the dignitaries and participants from MSME-DI side. First of all, I would like to highlight about this MSME Development Institute, because some of you may not be familiar about MSME Development Institute. We are basically a field organization under the Ministry of MSME, Government of India, for the promotion, development and growth of MSME sector. Actually, to be very frank, the MSME sector is a very important economic sector of the country. And it is the highest employer next to the agriculture. And as of now, according to the latest statistics, there are about 30 million MSME units throughout India, employing more than 70 million persons. And then the industrial contribution, that is output, is about 45%, and export from this sector is near about 40%. So looking to this statistical factor, MSME sector is very important in our Indian economy. So we have to work hard for the promotion and growth of this very important sector. And as we all know, today's economy is something like what we had: globalization, liberalization, privatization. This has thrown the Indian economy also to global entrepreneurs, means global players. And similarly, our entrepreneurs should also play or come up to the global level. Then only there will be sustained growth and improvement, means economic improvement. And expansion of export is very important from economic development point of view. So the objective of organizing this program is to expand this export business. Why export business? Because it will also create a good opportunity for more employment generation, and also will bring in a good amount of foreign exchanges. This is the key issues. So particularly the MSMEs of Manipur, we are not very much aware about the basics of export businesses. So the objective of this program is to inculcate that very basic knowledge of export businesses, so that some of us can take up these export businesses for our own profit, as well as for the economic development of the state. You see, economy is nothing but the science of demand and supply. Our products may have a very good demand in foreign countries, but the basic problem is that which country is demanding our product, that nobody knows. This is the main reason why we are organizing this export webinar. So I hope that our resource person will be able to taught the participants how to start export businesses, which country demands which product. This is the critical issue. Once this idea has been caught up, then the rest is history. It will follow all the procedures, this and that will come one after another. So the basic step is that one, how to identify a prospective foreign buyer. So I hope during this 4 or 5 days webinar, our resource person will be able to teach the participants how to get that issue, means how to identify foreign buyers and what are their needs and what standard they want and what kind of testing is to be done. Because once you export a product, it has to go through some kind of testing and all to fulfill various standards and specifications and the pricing, this and that. So during this webinar, our participants will be able to know what kind of product is demand in which country. Then only they will be able to make the first step, and then export business we can start later on. So I expect that out of this webinar, at least 5 participants is able to come out with an commitment to begin export business. Because once we start the export businesses, then we'll be bringing in more foreign reserve, as I said. So our economy will improve, and moreover, there will be a good chance for employment generations also. So with this objective, very clearly, this webinar is being organized, and I do hope that it will be a successful one, and it will surely have this meaningful impact. And after this webinar, maybe within this year, then some export houses comes up from Manipur. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Meitei, for short but meaningful speech and motivating the young entrepreneurs in the state of Manipur. And of course, we have some friends from the neighboring states, the Mizoram and Nagaland too. So that's great. At least the entire northeastern regions could be looked as a single entity, having so much of potential for the entrepreneurship development and also for the export-related activities. Ladies and gentlemen, just to continue our short inaugural session, I just would like to request Mr. L. Bikram Singh, IAS, the Director, Trade, Commerce and Industry, Government of Manipur, to deliver a brief speech to motivate the young entrepreneurs and also the various policy programs the government of Manipur has taken up for the promotion of export-related activities. So I request from the on behalf of the organizing team to Mr. L. Bikram Singh, IAS, to kindly deliver your speech, please. Yeah, Sir Bikram, can you hear me, please? Please unmute your mic. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Ibohal. I don't think my speech will be very brief.
Actually, you please take your time, no issue.
First of all, I would like to thank Sri S. Rishikumar, President All Manipur Entrepreneurs Association. He has taken the initiative in organizing this webinar during these times of pandemic. I also would like to thank MSME-DI, FIEO, and Center for Entrepreneurship and Skill Development, Manipur University. Now, during these challenging times, like many of the business are either in lockdown or they are functioning with minimal staff. But what I feel is that we should utilize this lockdown period, the curfew period, for planning. Planning is more important than execution. Once you have a solid plan, then execution is just a matter of, say, it's just a matter of the definite decision. So I would just like to start with an anecdote. So when we talk about South Korea was devastated during the Korean Wars. Why I have taken South Korea is that South Korea, which was devastated by the Korean War, become a developed country within a period of 10 to 15 years. This was one of the fastest pace of industrialization in the entire history. So the main reason for South Korea to become industrialized within a short span was nothing but export expansion. The first commodity that they exported was human hair. Their females, their women, they donated their hair, and the South Korean hair was in high demand in the USA, United States. So as Mr. Meitei said, we need to identify our exportable products, then where the demand is. The exportable products and the demand, the market has to be identified. If we have to consider an export-led growth. So from human hair, they went on to textiles, then to automobiles, and to electronic goods. So these are the various phases through which the Korean economy went through. So Manipur also, I hear people saying that we don't have any resources, we don't have any industry, and whatnot. But the question is not about having mineral resources or other resources, other natural resources. It's about the human capital, how we utilize the human capital, and we have educated youths in Manipur who are up to the challenges, who can take up the challenges in any sector, whether it is food processing, whether it is handloom and handicraft, whether it is electronic items. So this human capital has to be mobilized, and it has to be channelized, in the proper direction. So as we all know, the importance of foreign threat for a state like Manipur, it cannot be overemphasized. Tremendous potential exists just on the ground that we are so close to the Asian region. So just on this ground, the potential of the state, it is tremendous. But the potential has not been realized, as we all know. Now, the foreign trade constitutes 45% of India's GDP. And the trade volume of India with the Asian countries stands at over $86 billion. So if the farmers, the producers, the businessmen, the entrepreneurs of the state, if they tap even a fraction of this foreign trade, then Manipur can become a developed state in a very, very short span of time. So, but this is not easy. like saying and doing are two different things. There are so many issues faced by the entrepreneurs in Manipur regarding foreign trade and exports. But my thinking is that these issues and challenges are of twofold. One is the lack of awareness, which I think this kind of webinars will take care to a great extent. And the second one is the lack of logistics. So logistics, it will require structural and long-term interventions from the central as well as the state government for the logistic infrastructure to be developed. Now, when we talk about logistics, the national highways have to be made world-class because these are the lifelines of the state. Without the national highways being developed, then we cannot bring in anything. For example, like the central government through I think it is through Oil India. I forgot the actual company. They have already done an assessment of the natural gas and oil reserves in Manipur. And it has been found that there are huge deposits of natural gas in Tamenglong and Jiribam district. But why we are not able to tap it? Because the huge drilling machines have to be brought in, and our national highways are not equipped for the drilling machines to be brought in. Drilling machines cannot be brought through air or through cargo flight. It's not possible. And the government has also tried to negotiate with Myanmar so that we can bring in the drilling equipments through More, but it has not taken place. So these national highways, until and unless the national highways are made world class, then it will be difficult for our exporters to reach out, but not only the export market, the international market, but also the domestic market. The state-of-art facilities at ICP More has to be fully utilized. I'm so sorry to tell that it is not being utilized to the optimal level. And I was talking to some of the entrepreneurs some days back. So most of the export, is taking place through, say, international airports, like even for the manufactured finished goods of Manipur, it is being exported through, say, Delhi airport. So why not through Imphal airport? Imphal airport has to be upgraded to an international level export port, say with warehousing facilities, so that exports can directly take place from Imphal airport to other countries. We shouldn't be, again sending the our finished products to, say, Kolkata or Guwahati or Delhi, then exporting. It should be through Imphal airport. So state government, I think, is taking up for developing the warehousing facilities at the Imphal airport. Now, we all know the major exportable products. We have hydropower, we have horticulture, we have agriculture, we have handloom, we have pottery. So here also, we have to identify the GI tech products, because GI tech products are generally in high demand in international market. So like an intelligent identification of the products is also mandatory here. Now, because of, as I already told, Manipur is strategically located. The Asian Highway number 1 and 2 and the trilateral highway will pass through More. But we, as citizens, as entrepreneurs, as businessmen, need to tap the potential of this strategic location. Now, there are issues with the India-Myanmar border trade, like Myanmar is not giving the transit permit, and because of the normalization in trade between India and Myanmar in 2015, the import-export duties have escalated, like it has reached 40% for some commodities, and there are also the trade barriers as well as the non-trade barriers to trade. This has to be understood by the exporters properly so that they can access the international market. Now, when we talk about the policy of the central government and the state government, export promotion has been traditionally held by the central government. But however, there has been a paradigm shift very, very recently. Now, the central government is also trying to decentralize the export promotion activity through the District as Export Hubs initiative of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So the initiative, I will just highlight some of the salient features of the initiative. The initiative inter alia includes, innovation, use of technology to make exporters competitive, use of technology to reduce the transaction cost and generate employment. So here we have to use e-commerce and digital marketing. And I'm very glad to see that this one, e-commerce and digital marketing, is one of the topic of discussion during this webinar. And we have to identify products and services with export potential and provide support for export promotion and address the bottlenecks for support, infrastructure, logistics interventions required across the entire chain, from producers, farmers to the export destination, has to be taken up. And we need to improve our design, our aggregation, sorting, testing, certification, transportation, and export import facility formalities. The import export facilities have to be made well aware to the entrepreneurs who are interested in export. And one feature is that the destination country has certain standards. So those standards have to be fulfilled. Without fulfilling the standards of the destination countries, then we cannot export in terms of quality, in terms of quantity, in terms of packaging. So those has to be taken care of. Now, the state government is also like for a big push to the food processing industry. A mega food park is being established with associated cold storages and cold chains in 8 districts of Manipur. A food testing lab is also coming up in Nilakuti. So this will be a big impetus to the food processing industry, as, particularly those who are interested in exports. So I hope the webinar will be in line with the above initiatives of the Government of India as well as the state government. Lastly, I would like to wish the webinar grand success. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bikram, IS and the Director, Trade, Commerce and Industry, Government of Manipur, for giving insightful thoughts and also the various initiatives the Government of Manipur has taken up. It's really interesting to see Imphal Airport is a point for doing international cargo facilities. With that, we can have all lot of excise, customs, and various other facilities, so that the local products can be directly exported from here. In fact, India is having the #1 foreign exchange honor from the export of jewelries. So that's why we have a good potentials to tap with. So there are so many other nitty-gritty things to be looked into, and I believe this webinar can be of immense benefit to all the participants. In fact, our resource person has also already joined with us, and then he is MHS. And just to conclude for the inaugural part, I just would like to request Mr. Kaushik Datta from Federation of Indian Export Organization, Eastern Region, Guwahati, to kindly deliver a brief speech on this account. So, Mr. Kaushik Datta, please.
Yeah, good evening, dignitaries and all the participants. Am I audible?
Yes, it's audible clearly. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, is unmuted. Okay. Now.
Yeah. So I'd like to, congratulate the state of Manipur in the grand success of the recently Olympic gold medalist Mirabai. So a very big congratulations to the state, in fact, and we are really proud of that. As regards this particular webinar is concerned in international marketing and challenges, I think this is almost a right timing actually to have this webinar, because as we know, the Government of India's Look East policy, which now has been coined as Act East policy. So we are very near to the ASEAN countries basically. So, and Manipur would be the gateway to those ASEAN countries. And I think it's the perfect timing that we prepare ourselves for the near future. in this international business arena. As Director Sir has already mentioned, that there are two aspects to certain things, like it's a planning and execution. I think during this lockdown period, when most of the things are closed down, it's a right time that we plan it accordingly. Planning also includes to understand about the nitty-gritties of international business and exports. So you can utilize this time to understanding and gaining knowledge about this. And this 5 days would be definitely an eye-opener for all of you. There are experts, faculties who are into international business and exports dealing in. So you can have your doubts cleared up during these sessions. And I belong to Guwahati, and I look after the entire Northeastern region of FIEO. As regards FIEO, Federation of Indian Exports Organization is concerned, it's an apex body of the export promotion councils and the commodity boards of India. It was basically set up in 1965, and it provides a crucial interface between international trading community of India and the central and the state governments, financial institutions, ports, railways, surface transport, and all the engaged in export trade facilitations. It directly serves the interest of around 2 lakhs exporters from every goods and service sector in the country. So we have a very great team of experts in our organization as well, who would be also be dealing with different subjects during the course of this webinar. And I hope this webinar will, even though we had organized a couple of sessions in Manipur earlier also, especially in More, basically during the opening up of the ICP, but this would be the first time that we are doing this webinar with AMEA, and we'll be looking forward to organize much more activities in Manipur in association with AMEA, probably in the coming days, where after the COVID gets over, we might physically go there and arrange this sort of activities over there. So I look forward to working together. I'll be sharing my contact details definitely, and you can directly get in touch with me with my office also. I'm always available for any kind of guidance and help. With these words, thank you very much, and wish this webinar a grand success. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Kaushik, for a brief note, but very insightful. And in fact, all of us will be getting the lead from that. And just to cut short, because the time is a little bit trailing behind as per the schedule, we have with us our resource person also, Professor Rajendra Sharma is there. In fact, to continue the technical part of the webinar, I just would like to request my co-host, Ms. Juin Chaudhary from FIEO, Kolkata, to kindly introduce briefly about our resource person of today, Professor Rajendra Sharma from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, Kolkata. So over to Juin Chaudhary, please.
Good evening, and thank you, Professor Ibohal, for your brief interaction with the participants and introducing everybody with all their speeches, crisp and short, insightful speeches. Before we start off, which Professor, Dr. Sharma have always insisted, all the sessions that we have conducted, all the webinars which we have conducted in the last 1 year due to the COVID and all, he had always insisted saying one thing, that this is not actually a class. This is actually ought to be something very interactive. So any questions everybody have, you have to be interactive and put your questions and be as much involved in the session. As for introducing Dr. Sharma, I have actually lots of words for him. He is not only a professor at IIFT, he has a huge corporate experience. It is not actually academic. Mr. Rishikesh Singh was very firm on one thing, that we don't want bookish knowledge. We want something to very practical, which will be beneficial and fruitful to the entrepreneurs. That's the reason we had requested Dr. Sharma to take a session. As mentioned, he has a huge corporate experiences and his sessions are always very practical oriented. There will be nothing bookish in the next 3-hour session. All will be very focused. They will be all very specific with your product choices that you have forwarded to us. Dr. Sharma, would you like to start your session now, please? Sir has to be unmuted if the...
Yeah, I said thank you and a very good evening to everyone.
Shar has been made the co-host, so any slides extra can be shared from the sir's end too. So
I will not share any slides in the first half. Second half, maybe I'll have to share some slides.
Okay, no issue, sir. Kindly take your own time, sir.
Yeah, and so I thanks a lot, Professor and Joey. And Professor, if you remember, we met just last week.
Yes, I was just interacting with you in one of the FDP programs organized by the Professor Ashish Gupta of your institute. And then you took one session. I had a very, fun interaction with you regarding about globalization, marketing, the leadership excellence, etc. I remember. Okay. So thank you so much. Again, we are meeting. Let's work together for the benefits of our young entrepreneurs. And you are in Kolkata. And we definitely love to have a closer relationship, and at least we may be able to do something in this part of the country too, sir.
Great. So Manipur is a wonderful place.
Thank you so much.
And you know, there's a lot of potential and there's a lot of enterprise in the people. So everything sounds good. And my session today is 3 hours, so we will close by 8:30. We'll have a short break, bio break at about 7. And I have 2, modules to discuss with you today. One is that anytime anyone looking for internationalization is wondering what market, what country, where, which region, okay? So basically market identification is the theme of session number 1. And there I am going to show you certain tools, web-based tools, internet-based tools, which you could use for researching the relevant specific markets for your products and services from Manipur. Yeah. So this is one. I will show you opportunities. I will show you what countries you could look at. I'll show you which countries you are already engaging with your basket of the products. And we can also look at potential in other countries. This is one. Second is that having identified the relevant right markets and countries for you, then I think you would be interested in strategizing the how part as to how can you go there. So in 2 words, if I need to sum up the essence of the sessions or theme them into sessions, the 2 sessions, the first session is all about where, and where. Where means which countries, okay, which markets, which pockets, where is the opportunity? And second question is how. So there we will look at the strategy, whether you need some product adaptation, some pricing adjustment, how do you promote in that market, how do you distribute in that market. So these are 2 important themes that I am going to discuss with you. Yeah. And as Juin said, we will make it and keep it as interactive as possible. Though by vocation I am a teacher, but I'll not try to teach. We will collaboratively work on the project because you have your own agenda of pushing your products and identifying the markets for your products. So I'll try to facilitate that rather than telling you something that I know about international marketing. Okay, I hope that makes sense, right? I hope that would be the right way. So rather than telling you what I know about international marketing, I will help you first, or I'll facilitate discovering, screening, eliminating, filtering, identifying, and finally selecting a couple of markets or countries where you could engage and do business tangibly. Right? At times, keep answering also, because otherwise, it gives me an impression that my message is not understood. Yeah. At least some confirmation to proceed.
So please continue. We are waiting to hear from you.
Array, Jui, you are a coordinator. I want any of the participants to at least confirm that, okay, they got what I said. I mean, is it in sync? Is it in alignment with what they are thinking?
Sir, all are seriously listening to your presentation and just
Yeah, dear
with them.
participants,
Yeah.
participants, kindly unmute and then you can just respond one or two so that you can have a two-way kind of a interaction with our professor.
I'm saying I will discuss with you two things. One is where and other is how.
Definitely. Great, sir. Great. Sir, please. We are very eagerly waiting for you.
Okay, excellent. And then I said that rather than trying to tell you what I know, I would be working on your specific product. So I'll have to ask you which product and we'll identify markets. Okay. So going ahead with this, first of all, if exports and international markets is what you're looking for, there must be some objectives, right? So what exactly is the objective that you have in mind for your exports? Is it because the domestic markets are saturated, or is it because you have better markets abroad, or the markets abroad are more profitable, or you think you have a brand and you can extract more brand value from there? What exactly is the reason? Or is it taking advantage of government policies, regulation, or something? What is the agenda for internationalization? Let me hear a couple of answers from you.
Yeah, it's not like that. It is not the not like the government policy. We are our market competition is ourselves is competing ourselves and inviting ourselves, and the market is saturated. This is one factor. And why the other peoples could export our products in the around the globe, and then why our local entrepreneurs cannot do that activities and earn foreign exchange. This is the one area that, and then we know that some of our products are quite good in quality and tasty and yummy. Why not? These products are definitely will like the other foreign country also. So that why not we see the other options on the market? This is some of the factors, but we feel the export is the international marketing is the prime important for us also.
So, and Rubil Kotsu is saying that if we can import, why can't we sell our products abroad?
Yeah.
So we are all parts of a global market today. And you are echoing, resonating one focus that the quality of the products is not bad at all. It's comparable, it's competitive, it's good enough. And then why not that others are doing it? Why not we? Right?
Yeah.
But then when we go to international markets, there are certain risks that we are exposed to.
Right.
Yeah. Which risks? For
no,
example.
Please.
Yeah, please. You're saying something.
Definitely, we will be quite new, and we are not touching in the international market. So then the risks are we listen from you, and so then how we can overcome.
So if you want to listen to me, I am classifying the risks into different kinds of risk. All are C words.
Yeah.
C for cat. So one risk is the country risk. Like certain countries are riskier than other countries. For example, if I ask you, would you love to go to, South Sudan, Syria, Venezuela, Somalia? Okay, so these markets, many of you will find that, right, these countries may not be good because either the political structure there is not good, regulatory is not good, the countries could be risky and you could lose money. So we are going to look at certain safe countries which are good enough, which are developed, where you can be secure, where your money can be secure, and it would be safe to do business with those countries. So I will share tools with you on that. Countries can be risky. Cultures are risky because, you know, when you do business abroad, then it is cross-cultural. So we need to understand how Japanese, how Africans, how Europeans, how Brazilians, how Chinese, you know, and these cultures are very different from each other. So we need to understand the cultural risks involved. And I will also share with you how to check what culture a particular country has and how compatible that culture is with India. Okay? Because we need to deal with a cultural risk. Culture itself is a risk because, say, I understand you have handicrafts. And when you talk about handicrafts, handicrafts are very, very culturally rich kind of a product. So I must match my products with the cultures of those countries. Not only that, the way they buy is very different. How they buy is very different. Who buys there is very different. So I must understand who holds the power, who holds the authority, what kind of indulgence, etc. The third important risk is that the currencies become different. So you quote in or you calculate because your costs are in Indian rupees, you quote in dollars, and then you see dollar vis-a-vis rupee, there is a fluctuation. And sometimes that country has its own currency and, you know, the exporter gets money on what you quoted, but it so happens that your currency is devalued, so you have a currency risk. True, na? So there is a financial risk, currency risk, there is a cultural risk, there is a country risk, and also there is a commercial risk because we need to undertake certain documentation procedures, payment terms, international commercial terms, because it all depends as to what terms are you supplying or what terms your buyer is buying. Terms here means like your liability is free on board, X works Manipur IMPHAL, okay, or you are undertaking the responsibility of delivering the consignment up to the port there in that country, or you are going to get it custom cleared and then duty paid and then deliver it to the customer client. So I think we also need to look at certain commercial terms as well as the commercial risks. So 4 risks that I am sensitizing you to are country risk, cultural risk, commercial risk, and currency risk. And I will use this framework, these risks, in eliminating the countries when you're looking for the markets. Okay, so shall we start? You know, I have different methodology and wider, areas, different areas or different pastures to start with. Let's start with, the state Manipur, and then I'll ask you your HS codes. So let's go to one important website, which is, can somebody tell me what is the most authentic site that captures the data about India's export and import from all the ports, all the states, all the products? Anyone, if you are aware? In the meantime, I'm sharing my screen with you and I'll take you to the website. Okay, so this was no deductions for wrong marks. The website is Director General of Commercial Intelligence and Statistics. I hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir, we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see your screen.
Yes.
Not yet.
Okay, so I have gone here, and this is again an important body of the part of Ministry of Commerce and Industry, our ministry, where my institute belongs to, FIEO belongs to, and DGCIS, it is based in Kolkata only. And if I go there, you will get very interesting insights about certain data. And I am not going to go to the country data first. I am first going to do, this your state. Okay, so if you see EXIM, export import analytics, and that also for the state HS codes, state export analysis, or principal commodity state exports analysis, then you see here, this is where you are, right? Manipur. And it shows that the total trade is 1.88 billion. That's the total export from Manipur. So you see that most of your trade happens to these countries. China, as I told you, look at the volume here. This is Manipur 1.88. Of this 1.88 billion, 0.83, roughly around 43% is only with China. And then you see Nepal 0.06, and you see this Italy 0.09, Nigeria also you trade, Chad, Sudan, despite these being slightly tougher and difficult countries, Ethiopia, Kenya, these are the trade partners, and you from IMPHAL, Manipur, you do business with these countries. Brazil also, some volume is there with Brazil. Spain is there, Germany is there, Netherlands, it's showing 0.00 because this is in $1 billion. So therefore, less than 0.1 billion shows there. So if you look at, some major ports that you use, then let me tell you that you use about 15 ports, and maximum of your business, is routed via Delhi air. Then this is what partly ICD, Mumbai, Nhava Seva, okay, Pani Tank. These are, the places, Mundra and all that. And there are 27 commodities that you can look at. Okay, so you see what are the commodities. This says that you have IC engines and parts, and I am surprised to know that you have medical and scientific instruments, and this is contributing roughly about 0.5 to, so about 1/3 of your exports volume. Okay, and these engines and parts too. And then you see pulse, nickel, auto, drugs, plywood, jute, fresh vegetables, petroleum, tea, plastics, and basket work, and bamboo, and all that. So these are some 27 products that you have, and you could do some analysis. So as you can see here, we are talking of one state, that is Manipur, and 17 countries, and 15 ports, and 27 commodities, and total export value of 1.89, and that to when? This is financial year 1920, okay? And this year 2021. So if I just click on this, you can get a specific data, you can define the range. So if you only talk about 2021, then it's 0.93, okay? And so this was, sorry, 1920. And if I include 2021, then it becomes 1.89. So this is the data of 2021 and 2 years, yeah? So this is 2-year data, and this is what the total trade is. So friends, when you want to really start, first of all, you can look at this DGCIS website, and you can be very, particular about choosing your markets. So first of all, I'm not going to get into the HS codes. I'll discuss HS codes with you a little later, but here you have data dissemination portal. So I'm taking you to that. And in this data dissemination portal, either you can go through the HS codes, or you can get principal commodity level data free by clicking here. So I'm clicking here, and this will be for the entire country, because you will get to know for certain products which are the major markets in the world. So data query, when you execute, let's put 1 year data, that's say April 2020, yeah. So I'm going to say have April 21, sorry, April 20, April 22, yeah, April 20 to March 21. Okay, so I hope everybody is following these steps, and you will have to practice. And if you have any queries, you feel free to ask. So I'm executing a data query. It is asking me export or import, and I'm clicking on export, and it gives you options of currencies. So I just say US dollar. I can pick both also, no problem. So I picked both now, and it is asking you a report type. So you want commodity wise report, or you want commodity by country wise, or you want commodity by country by port. So port is not that important. Port can vary, as I was showing you that Manipur is in the Far East, but still, it exports from Delhi air cargo. Yeah, regions could be any. So commodity by country is what I'm picking up. And then I want this report to be given to me, commodity by trade value in descending order. So descending order, that means, it will list the most important market or the country where the trade flow is taking place today. So you can do this by region. Region here means Latin America, Eastern Africa. These are regions. Oceania, Australia, New Zealand, etc. Or, I can go by country. So I am choosing it by country. So before you hit here on the execute query, it is asking you commodity group list. So here, friends, you will choose. I will not choose. You can see you are reading certain commodities that are being exported from Manipur. You pick the first commodity that comes in the list, any commodity. Yeah, tea, coffee, rice, and please stop me, okay? So unmute and stop, and we'll check that. Pulses, tobacco, spices, cashew, sesame, Niger, groundnut, oil meals, castor, salak, sugar.
Let us click at the spices. Spices. Let us click at the spices. Spice.
Okay. So you have spices here, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Manipur produces some excellent spices.
Right.
Okay. So you added spices. Okay. You can add more products here, but that will unnecessarily complicate and make the report longer in volume. So I advise that we can search commodities separately. So if you look at country list, I'm putting all value deliberately because alphabetically right from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe, it is listing all the countries. So I am not sure where spices from India are getting exported. So I'm adding all value, and all value has got added. Okay. So then I can search, and if I put this execute query, it's loading and it is showing you. No wonder, the same thing as I told you, largest import partner of Manipur is China. So spices, this many kilograms, quantity is spelled out here. Okay, 350.037986 kilograms. So this is the measurement, and this is from the April 2020.
Is it for the import or the export?
Oh, this is export because we are searching. You can read here, India's exports by principal commodity.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
So if your country is exporting, then if you think that Manipur spices have an advantage, then you can build branding that I will touch upon during the marketing strategy part. And you can highlight those differentiating features of getting something from Manipur in terms of spices or handicrafts or bamboo or basket or this or that. But the point is that India is already the largest importer of Indian spices is China, and the next is USA. So how much is the difference? You know that. And this is value. And if you see US dollars, 970.441780, this many US dollars. Okay. So you can see how many, 1, 2, 3, 5. So it is 970 million. Okay. US dollars. And this is 595 million US dollars, USA. And then comes Bangladesh, and Bangladesh is so near. United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Malaysia, UK, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Nepal. And I was showing you that Manipur, you are already doing business with Nepal, UAE, and China, Bangladesh. This is all easily approachable. Now, this is not the end of the story. The report runs into several pages. It is listing all the countries. So if you are interested in a particular country, you can go to page 2 and all that. You can download this report. The moment I say download report, it will download as Excel. You can download as PDF. You can download as this. You can see here, I hope you are able to So, the report is already downloaded here, and from the downloaded report, I can open and you can save it on your computers, and it shows, how much of exports of spices from India to these countries, quantity and period and everything. Yeah, now this is the downloaded one. So this is, is a very, very data rich world, friends, today. And you don't have to bother and travel much. Even during the pandemic, it's difficult to travel. So you can find a lot of resources there. Okay, check one more product and then I'll take you to something more interesting, and that will be HS code wise. Okay, so you can nullify this, or you can remove spices. I am deleting spices. Can you add something else now?
So do you have aromatic and herbal medicines, medicinal plants?
What fruits and vegetables I have? What else you said?
Aromatic and medicinal plants.
Aromatic and medicinal plants.
Medicinal plants. Let's check. Fresh fruits, vegetables. These are there. Cereal preparations are there. Milled products are there. If you don't find it here, I'll show you somewhere else. Don't worry about that. Okay. So this is principal commodity, and it is free data because it is ready to be accessed by anyone. So you can see these are raw hides, finished leather. I'll definitely show you medicinal plants also. If not here, then some other site. Okay. So don't worry on that, but you choose, because this is by the drop down. So you'll have to choose something here. You have cosmetics.
I think we have these essential oils also.
Essential oils are there. Yeah. So if I pick this and then I again keep all value and the same thing, same query. And if I execute, then in essential oils, this is USA, then France. France, is known for perfume all over the world. Then Indonesia, the 4th largest country in the world. Iran, UAE, South Africa. So, the top 10 markets are here. And again, you see here, there are so many pages and you can check Hong Kong, Lebanon, and all that. So the 10 countries are here, the top 10. Okay. And there is no point that you should run around, with a small country where the potential is limited or we are doing very little business. However, you can choose that if you feel that the opportunity is better there. But this is an indicative list where essential oils are today flying, getting exported from India. I hope everyone knows their HS codes. Do we? Do we know our HS codes? Harmonized system codes of the products that you export?
Sir, if you can give a brief on that, I mean, since
Okay. So every product, because the next tool that I'm going to show you is going to use the system of HS codes. So we need to find out the HS code, harmonized system code, which is the nomenclature for identifying the product, export or import. Okay. So to give you an idea on that, but before I give you an idea, let me write down a couple of products that you would like to check or you would like to export. Be very specific about the product. Okay. Tell me, what is the product? Anyone? Your product, which you manufacture, which you want to export. A real product. Yeah.
So processed fruits and vegetables.
Okay. So Tempe, processed fruits and vegetables. Okay. So in processed fruits, any specific fruit?
Sir, pineapple.
Okay. So I'll go to pineapple also, right? And any specific vegetable?
Sir, what about aromatic black rice? Aromatic black rice.
Black rice?
Yeah.
Is that a vegetable? Is that a vegetable?
No, sir, that one is cereal.
Okay, so aromatic black rice, that's a cereal.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will take cereal also, we'll take vegetable also, we'll take fruits also. So before I go show you the data, I want to tell you that we have HS code, this nomenclature, this classification divided into chapters To the best of my knowledge, vegetables fall in chapter 7. Then the fruits fall in chapter 8. Spices fall in chapter 9. 9 means 09, 08. 08 is fruits, 07 is vegetables, and cereal is 10. So all these, that you Tempe is talking about is from 06, 07 to 08 to 09, spices to 10, which is cereals. Okay. Now, suppose I'm not very sure what is the 6-digit or 8-digit code that I'm looking for. There's a way that you can search, and then others will also use that methodology. So I'm onto that, and I'm showing you. You can use a website like, let's say, you can use the CAIR, cair.co.in, for example. Okay. So it is asking you HS code, search HS code, and I am searching. I'm putting product name here. You can see turmeric and cosmetics. These are already, somebody, I only must have searched. So if I just say turmeric, then it shows me that turmeric is, I say search. And when I say search, I'm giving you the methodology, then we'll search vegetables and everything that you said. So if you are looking at turmeric, then it says that turmeric, as I told you, is part of chapter 9. So 09 is that, and 0910 is ginger, saffron, and turmeric, all put together are covered by this heading. So 4 digits are a heading, 2 digits, 09 is the chapter, 0910 is the heading, and this is an 8-digit code. So you are talking of turmeric, ginger. If it is dried, then this is the code. If it is not dried, if it is powder, then this is the code. If it is not dried and not powder in some other form like paste and all, then for paste, ginger paste and turmeric paste, then this has to be other code. So 0910393090. You understand? Okay. So then you have, this is something else. Okay, 91 clocks, and also essential oils, as somebody was telling me, essential oils, the chapter is 33, and you also have essential oil which is coming from turmeric. So turmeric oleoresins, and that is 330190014. Okay, so we will search a specific here, and you said processed fruits, and we are talking about pineapple. Okay, so pineapple and pineapple processed. Pineapple pulp, are you saying pulp or are you saying pineapple juice? Hello?
Sir, juice, sir.
Okay, so I'm putting juice, and juice, the HS code will not be 0708, because 08 is fruits. Fruits means fruits are natural, but when it becomes juice, it becomes a manufactured product. So it will go to a higher this thing. Let us see what code it takes. So you can see pineapple has moved from 08. If you search raw pineapple or pineapple fruit, it will be 08, but it is now fruit juice, and including grapes, vegetable juices, and all that. So 2009, and this is 2009 400, and this is fruit pulp if you are talking about that, or fruit juice based drinks. So if you make something, add carbonated something in pineapple, then this will be that, and you can search and see here. So your code will be this 20094900. Yeah, or if it is a mixed juice, this one, or you can have 6900. Yeah, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So I hope everyone, all of you, since your products are different, you will have your HS codes. Now let me just search some one vegetable that you grow in Manipur. One vegetable, please.
Banana.
Okay, so banana would be, banana is not a banana vegetable.
Sir, king chili, please. Sir, what about broad bean?
You're talking of raw banana.
Sir, what about broad bean?
What about?
Broad bean.
Spell it.
Broad bean and king chili. Let us find out the broad bean and king chili.
Okay, so
and
chili,
ginger also.
Green chili.
Yeah, king chili.
And ginger also.
Okay, ginger also. So green chili.
Supposed to be
If you see green chili.
chili.
And this is,
Sir, pardon, sir. It's king chili, sir. King chili.
Which one?
King chili.
Not
KIN.
green chili,
Green
king
actually,
chili,
king.
King.
KING
Yeah.
King chili.
and CHILLI, right?
Yeah.
ꯃꯌꯥꯡꯁꯦ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ
Okay.
ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ACAR ꯃꯥꯒꯤ screen share ꯇꯧꯔꯤꯅꯦꯕ ꯁꯤꯗ
So king chili is a spice. Hello, king chili is.
Yeah, it comes under spice, I think.
Thank you. Oh, somebody is talking.
Mute
So,
up the video, Meitei.
hello. Yeah. So king chili is a spice, and that's why it is now part of the chapter 9. As I told you, fruits, vegetables, spice, everything is piled in chapters. So pepper of this genus pepper, dried, crushed, ground, this, that. So even ginger, somebody was asking me ginger, and ginger is 0910. Okay, and if you are talking of ginger paste, then it will be 0910 99919. Okay, so this is where your chili is.
When the particular king chili's name is not shown in the screen, then the considering about this category is
it is there. King chili. Hello, I have highlighted it's there. King chili.
Okay.
Sir, it's not chili, it's king chili. You see king chili import data.
Okay.
King chili import export trade sector contributes significantly to the overall GDP of India, blah blah. Okay. So this is about king chili only, huh? Okay. If something is not mentioned, then you can go to other. But when you can go to other, then I must be sure of the form. So it is a method of product classification. So this method says that, okay, for example, if it is not this, then it has to be as part of other. So either this, and then this 4 digits further become 8 digits. But if it is not of genus capsicum, then it is some other this thing, then you can pick this. As I was giving you an example, the powder form, the dried one, the whole form, but if it is paste form is not mentioned, then it is other, something like that. Clear?
Yeah.
Same way here, you are saying aromatic black rice. So let me say black rice, and let me put aromatic if I can find that. Otherwise, it will show something. Yeah, so I'm now searching. And as I told you, this is no record found. So I think let's not put aromatic, let's put black rice. Yeah. And search. So this is black rice, and the chapter for black rice is, this is packaging. So this is not that. No, this is also not that. Okay, this is also machinery. Okay, rice is 1006, and black rice aromatic.
Actually, our black aromatic rice is quite different from the black rice. Is there any possibility that we can put up black aromatic rice in this?
Yeah, if you can put, but if you don't find, then you have to take it into other 10063090.
Okay.
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 So I will show you the hierarchy of that 1006. Let's see the hierarchy. So you see HS codes, rice, only rice, all types of rice, and it will only to tell us about rice HS codes. So you see the hierarchy that 1006 is rice, but 100610 is rice in the husk, paddy or rough. Then 10061010 is of this quality. And then there are 21 more rows. So you see here what all is there. So you see rice in husk, rice in husk, rice in husk paddy. Then this is semi-milled. Okay, then this is polished, glazed, parboiled. Then this is, so you can keep on going down and you can keep checking, but it is not showing that. So you will have to put that as other. So other is absolutely fine, because other is a classification, and 6-digit data you can use for searching the exports. Is that clear?
Yeah, clear, sir. But one thing I would like to know, if there is any possibility that we can add black aromatic rice in this data.
Yeah, but black aromatic rice in this data, if it is not there, you will not be able to get the data. Yeah.
Actually, in the future, if there is any scope of adding black rice data in this website.
Well, that has to be done by the World Customs Organization and ITC. Countries have to report and suggest that it is very different. This is no record found. I tried to search and kindly modify your search. But don't you worry. We will try another website also. Yeah. You saying something?
Yeah, sir. Actually, we would like to know how to proceed in those things.
Look, the classification is not done by an exporter. Is that clear? The classification cannot be done by a country also. The classification is internationally recognized classification. So black aromatic rice, what you can do is you can add 2 digits to your 6-digit code, 6-digit HS code, and you extend the national tariff line by adding that, and it becomes different. India, when it exports black aromatic rice, it must be already doing that. So I'll try to, as I'm saying that, I will try to find out if it is there on some other website. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
But the code is there. It's not that it does not have a code. So don't feel that it does not have a code. The only thing is that it is coded as other. So any rice which doesn't fall into the purview of parboiled, milled, semi-milled, this paddy, husk, white rice, brown rice, then that other category will take care of it. So I am not giving you an impression that it does not have a code. It has a code. And that code, when the black rice, aromatic rice is also produced in other countries, and if your rice is different, then you can add national tariff line code to that. Okay. And you will understand it when I help you in searching. Because please understand, our green tea, say geographical indication, Darjeeling tea. Darjeeling tea, do you think it can grow in any other country like Sri Lanka or Kenya? No, it cannot. Correct, because it's Darjeeling tea. So if you're talking in that sense, then in that other, by adding 2 digits, we can export black aromatic rice and we can charge a premium. Okay. So let me now take you to another website, which is equally important, and it is a rich source of data for you. It shows you potential. In fact, I would also like to show you, are there buyers available for your products in the foreign countries? Okay, so if I could show you certain companies which you can get in touch with, I think, let's try and do that.
Thank you, sir.
So let's move there, and I am again sharing my screen. The website is, and there also you can do the search. Okay, HS code search, but HS code search is pretty easy, because I was trying to tell you that if you know the product name, you can try and reach it there. So at least we are somewhere that any product that you want to identify the HS code, you can. For example, basket work, if I see, then basket work is out of bamboo, and you are one of the large bamboo producers, and then the chapter is 46, and I was seeing 4602110. This is 8-digit code of the basket work made out of bamboo. Okay, so the website here is Trade Maps. Okay, and this is a very interesting website. It trade statistics for international business. You get a lot of statistics. Yeah, and I advise that you log in, and this is free for emerging countries like us. Other countries, the users, they have to pay a subscription fee for this website. So I'm logging in with my ID, and so you can just register once, and then it opens with that, and you can see that now it says Mr. Rajendra Sharma. Okay, so you have this home and search here, and data availability, reference materials, a lot of ITC tools. ITC refers to International Trade Center. Yeah, and you see services here, you see products here. So India is also a big exporter of services. I'm sure you export tourism services from Manipur. Yeah, we export a lot of medical tourism from India. And let's stick to products, because most of our exporters here today, most of you are from the product categories. And you can also look at import data, you can look at export data. But we are more keen on generating foreign exchange. So we are looking at export data. Okay, so I hope you are clear that, okay, now this is import data and this is export data. So it's that user friendly. Yeah. And in the product, it is saying single or group. So we'll look at a single product. Group means, for example, if you say cereals, then it's a group. So it talks about group of products. Like in DGCIS, we saw that when you said fruits and vegetable, now fruits is a group here, come on. But mango is not a, mango is a single product. Mango pulp is a single product that way. Pineapple pulp, pineapple juice is a single product. So here, it's loading and it is with the HS code chapter. The chapter 1 is live animals. Yeah. So, and you can see the hierarchy, because that one is now becoming 0101. So live animals is the chapter 1, but horses and asses and these, they come in 0101. But if you talk about bovine animals, then 0102. Okay, bovine, you understand, buffaloes. And if you talk about sheep, goats, then 0104. And 0103 is swine, pigs, and those kind of. Okay, so you have categorization of the HS codes here also. And here also I can help you in searching that. So tell me one product for which you have discovered an HS code or already, or you want me to take the products which are related to fruits and the rice only. Let me just try if I can find black aromatic rice here. So rice is 10. So 10. Now the chapter is opened cereal, and in cereal, 1002 is rice. No, 1002 is rye, and 10 oats. Okay, 1006 is rice, and you can see this. So 2 digit becomes 4 digit. 1006 is rice, but I'm not okay with only rice. I am looking at something more specific. So I will change this 1006, and it is showing me further down here that in 1006 in rice, you have broken rice, you have semi-milled, you have or volley milled rice, whether or not polished or glazed. You have husked or brown rice. You have brown rice here. You have rice in the husk, paddy, or rough. So which one do you want me to take? None? Feel free to say none.
Sorry, sir.
Rice, sir, Kolu rice.
No, out of these, because the entire family is here. So it will give you data.
Semi-milled or wholly milled rice, sir.
Okay.
Wholly milled rice.
Okay, this one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you search that, then the country of export is, you can, from this drop down, you can select India. And I have now marked India. And if you see from India, here you can see importing markets in 2020. And this is the HS code. So some of the big countries, this is the map view, this is the graph view, and let me click here. So if I go here, then you can see the biggest importer of rice is what? Yeah, Saudi Arabia, right? And it contributes to, you can see here, 14.65% of the share of India's exports, because Saudi Arabia doesn't grow rice, and their annual growth of imports is 12%, and Saudi Arabia import growth from the world is better from India, so they prefer Indian rice. And regarding brown rice and aromatic, then we need to find out separately from the consuming patterns which countries are the users and things like that. And it's not that difficult. I can help you with finding that also. Then you have Iran, which is again second most important market. So Saudi Arabia, this is talking about the market share of the partner countries, in share of partner countries. So Saudi Arabia, Iran, potential countries. And then you have Iraq, you have Benin, Togo, you have Nepal, Yemen, USA, Madagascar, Liberia. So many countries are there. This is listing 20 countries, but if this is confusing you, I can just, I'm changing, as you see, to just 10 countries and updating. So, it's reducing and making my job better. So this is a better, oh, no, it's still 20. I'll make it 10, okay, and I update. So when I update, then only 10 countries are here now, okay? So you have Yemen. Now, do you see that some bubbles are in blue and some bubbles are in yellow? So yellow bubbles, what's happening is that these countries, Iraq, Benin, UAE, USA, Nepal, and Guinea, these are preferring rice from other countries as compared to India. Okay, so their growth is more from other countries in the world than from India. But these Yemen, Togo, Iran, and Saudi Arabia, they clearly favor Indian rice. So this talks about the annual growth rate of the partner countries' imports. So if you go by the growth rate, Togo and Benin are growing fantastically, because there every year the market is growing about 50% in Togo. Togo in near Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, okay, North Africa, Northwest Africa, just near closer to Nigeria and Ghana. Yeah. So this is how you have access to the data, and this data you can actually check the ways you want this data to be used. So let me give you some example what I am trying to say here. Suppose I want bar chart on exported value. So same product, then it says that, okay, Saudi Arabia and Iran, as you see. So this is now is changing to bar chart. The bubbles have converted into bar chart. So this shows all 10 markets, Guinea, Nepal, and Yemen. But the precise exported value USD 1,000. How many USD 1,000? So Saudi Arabia is more than 10 lakh. So that means 1 million USD per annum exports. Yeah. And let me change this to something more interesting, that suppose I want to know that only bar chart on exported growth in value between 2016 and 20, last 5 years only. Okay, so last 5 years where Indian rice is being preferred in the foreign markets. And the moment I click this, you will be surprised. It says Papua New Guinea and then Afghanistan. So the entire market structure has changed. Here you have Chile, Bhutan, Brazil, Vietnam, Philippines, Congo, DRC, that's part of Africa. Okay, so you see, this is how the markets are getting very interesting. And you can look at those markets, because this shows that from India, Papua New Guinea has grown. What percentage? You can see, on the slider here, 331%. Afghanistan is growing. I'll show you. Afghanistan is growing 257%, and Philippines 213%, 200%, Vietnam. So these are growing markets. Okay, so a lot of African countries and poor countries, but if you talk about premium rice, then you will have to concentrate on countries which can pay you a premium. So that also helps you in market identification. Okay, so for example, you pick any country of your choice, say Philippines. Yeah, say Philippines. And in Philippines, now you can see here, I want you to see here, you see country is now Philippines, and Philippines is importing from anywhere in the world, including India. And this shows import data of Philippines. Is that clear, participants, everyone? At least one confirmation will be good. Otherwise, I'll understand.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because you see, I'm also on my
Yes,
screen,
sir.
and you also must be engrossed. So sometimes in between, we must check whether we are there. Otherwise, people will say that you were talking, but we were off. Yeah. So here we are seeing imports, and You can see Philippines imports, and then some companies are also there. But before that, you see Philippines imports maximum from where? You tell me.
India, sir.
India. Then
India
Pakistan.
is
So, you know, indirectly what I'm trying to tell you is that who are your competitors in Philippines? Who are your competitors in Philippines?
Pakistan will be the competitor, strong competitors.
And
they are maximum. Then Vietnam is there.
Okay, to some extent. Okay.
Yeah.
Thailand is degrowing, so Thailand is not much of a threat. So, you know,
Right.
these are your major competitors.
Yeah.
And I am now coming to the, you know, the climax part of the whole thing of this search. And the climax is that I am a rice exporter from India. I know that Philippines is a good market. I know that Philippines loves Indian rice. I know that Philippines can also buy from Pakistan, but my volumes are better. And I want to know who are the importers in Philippines. So I, you know, click here on the companies. So when I do that, companies. So you see, it shows grocery and related products, number of importing companies available in trade map. But where are these companies? 591 companies. Where are they? Where are they? Can somebody answer me? They are in Philippines. And 12 companies are, you know, 591 companies are related to groceries and related products related with rice, but 12 are into rice and byproducts only. So where do you want me to click? You know, this one also I can click, but let's go here, which is more focused because this is specifically says rice and byproducts. So when I click here on this link, it opens those 12 companies. What is the name of the company? Asian Grains Corporation. And it has 25 employees, and this company is in Cebu. And I click on this website, on this link, and now you have the phone number +63 3223 409 0000. The executive, the CEO of this company, Asian Grains Corporation, is Daniel T. Go. Tell me, I need some, you know, if you get this kind of data on the website, what do you feel? The same thing will apply to your fruits, pineapple. You choose a country and it can show you companies also that buy. And it gives you the phone numbers of those companies. Not only that, sometimes even the website, sometimes even the email. And you can just send an email introducing your company. So I need some feedback about, you know, the secondary sources of information. And in the data rich world, if you get this kind of information on your laptop, desktop, mobile, sitting anywhere, how do you feel?
So that way,
helpful, sir.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I think it'll be easier for us to connect. Even if I want to export, I'll be able to find out the right person with whom I can connect with and perhaps see what are the needs and the quantity.
Right. So Tempe, there are ways. If you go and participate in a trade show, it costs. If you travel and visit Philippines and move around and then talk to those distributors of rice, it costs. But at least the first initial contact sitting here, we can establish and we can get in touch with the potential parties.
Sure, sir.
Even if they say no, that, you know, we already are dealing with several companies and I don't think I can represent any other Indian exporter now. Suppose, no harm, I can go to the second one, the third one. There are 12 of them, and then there are others who are related, 500 of them. So many companies, and running an email campaign is not very difficult. Hobby Ching, you're saying something? Hobby.
Sir, it was quite enlightening. Thank you so much. Half of my problem will be solved.
No, 100% of your problem should be solved.
I hope so, sir.
look, see the typical exporters from our country. I should put it like this, that many times they do business only on networking and connections, and they do not know what are the resources available free of cost. So if we tap these kind of resources, and then if you make wonderful effort, proper effort, you give your best of the introduction, introducing your product, how it is different, what value addition it can do for them, to the diet, to the nutrition, to this, to that. And anyone who is going to represent those companies, because companies are importers. So what an importer is looking for, an importer is looking for profitability. An importer is looking for good margins. An importer is looking for established products. An importer is looking for reputation. So they also, because in Philippines, suppose I'm in Philippines and I import from you, India, and then I sell there. So my local customers are known to me. Yes or no? My retail chains are known to me. So they will also place more orders to me if I give them quality products. So my thing is that if we are able to do it rightly, if you know the right sources, right methods, right ways of identifying the markets, then you use your right skills, which is skills of communicating, emailing, presenting, negotiating, quoting the prices, and that too in the cultural context. Because I must understand, Philippines is not like India. Philippines has to be different from, Philippines could be very different from Saudi Arabia. Okay, may not be very different from Saudi Arabia because both could be Islamic, but will be very different from Brazil or USA. You understand? So I have to understand the typical Filipinian culture also before I interact with them. I think you will agree with me that if we match and if our wavelength matches, then we do better business, because it's partnering for the long run. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You as an
Yes, sir.
exporter are not looking for any short-term gains of just pushing, loading one container load of merchandise from any port from India, and then facing complaints later on, and then your importer telling you that the quality that you had shown me as sample, the one that you had given me as sample, that was different, I liked that, but this is horrible. And then they burn their fingers, and then second order is not there. I hope you will understand and agree with me that some of our small and medium enterprises, I'm not talking of Manipur, I'm sure you are hardworking people, and therefore you believe in supplying the exact proper quantity, but some short-term gain seekers, they also cheat in the international market. And when they do that, they spoil the image of our country also. So it's not only the product quality or the brand that you have, it is also the country's image which they put on, at a stake.
Sir, one more.
Sir,
Okay, one more question, sir. Because being a new exporters, the unit which is trying to become the first export, and then how being a new exporters, how they can quote the competitive price, because they doesn't have much connection throughout the other export houses, so then the competitive price, how they can quote it. Any idea, anything what we can do?
Okay, I'll give you some idea.
Yeah.
I'll give you a lot of idea, not some idea.
Yeah,
but partly what happens is that then I have to, because everything will not be on the internet, then I have to be making an effort on my own, talking to people and check, For example, at what price Alfonso mangoes will sell in USA? Come on. So,
yes.
So it also depends, who do you sell to? Yes or no?
Yes.
That mango, if I export to some country nearby, there is price X. But if I sell it to USA, the price is Y. But if I sell to a retail chain in USA, the price is something different. But if I sell to some institution, then the price is very different. So it depends. But I will definitely give you an idea about quoting prices. And I'm going back to the website, and then I'll address your question. But before that, is there any other thought that you have? The data is there. Yeah, companies are there. So let me go back there. So here, you're able to see? No. Able to see the screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So here, this was just one company that I clicked. And like this, you can check other companies. Okay, so like this is Coconut Farmers Multipurpose Cooperative. This is Agro Industrial Pioneer. This is Jimmy Pua Enterprises Incorporated. So you see this phone number and all. This is Marcella Farms Incorporated. So you can talk to these companies. Sometimes you'll be surprised that these companies have their WhatsApp also, and you know the president and director, and you can connect. You can also propose that you would like to show them your facility where you are milling the rice or producing that pineapple juice, etc. Possible, no? Because we can conduct a virtual tour. So if you want me to show that King Chili farm or where the processing takes place, you can do that today. We have the technology in the digital world, you know. So let the buyer be in Philippines or wherever, and you can still do it. Yeah. So this is where, you know, you have different types of, so I'm going here on the table view. Let me try to answer your question on the price part. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the table view, and in the table view, let it open. Yeah. So you see that, what does it say? List of supplying markets for product imported by Philippines, right?
Yes.
And this is the same product. So you have Vietnam, you have Myanmar. Now you see what is the value imported in 2000 in USD 1000, yes or no? So you have this much value. And then you see the quantity imported. Vietnam, this was the quantity imported in 2020. And then you see unit value. Can you see unit value? Unit value USD per unit. So this is per ton. Okay. So 1 ton, tons, as you see, quantity unit tons. So what is the unit value per ton average price the world pays? 384. And Vietnam gets what? That average, 384 only. Okay. But Myanmar rice, what is the Philippines imports from Myanmar also? So which is the cheaper rice, Myanmar or Vietnam? You tell me now.
Okay, 384 and 339.
Yeah. So Myanmar is cheaper, and you are close to Myanmar, right?
Yes.
Vietnam gets a higher price. Thailand still gets a higher price. China gets this. China gets 379, but India gets 386. Hello?
Yeah.
So for this rice, now you have a fair idea that Philippines, if you are quoting to Philippines, and you know that Philippines is already buying at the rate of 386 USD per ton. Now, would you quote 380? Tell me, tell me, no? Okay, so you are already charging more than the world average of 384. But you look at Korea Republic, and what are they charging?
Korea. It is very big figures. 4 digits.
So you would be surprised that this has to do about quality. Okay, now this is where the second part of the session will come into picture, and that time I'll tell you that if you're branded well, your black aromatic rice, and if you can tell me the benefits of that, then people can pay any premium. You understand? A mango is a mango, and a mango from Malda, West Bengal, it is sometimes very difficult to sell that mango at 15 rupees a kilogram in India. No takers. And if you export, they say pesticide residue and this and that. But when it is organically grown Alfonso mango from Ratnagiri, and I think you know there are certain varieties, some mango from Afghanistan is being grown in Madhya Pradesh, and only in one district. And do you know that each 1 kilogram mango is, the price is 1100 or something like that, 2000 rupees.
Oh.
You know that some mushroom in Jammu and Kashmir, Doda Valley, it has GI tag, geographical indication, and it is selling at 20,000 rupees per kilogram mushroom.
My God.
I'm telling you the truth. India,
Yeah. Oh.
our products. So prices, don't quote it according to the data that is available, but indicative, because that was your question. Indicative prices are always available to you, you know, in some way or the other. We can do our market research and find out.
Okay.
So this is a snapshot on the competition that prevails in Philippines. Yeah. So you have table view, you have graph view. In graph, I have shown you that you have bubbles and you have bar charts, and this is the map view. So which view you like, you know, whether you want mountain view or valley view, accordingly you can choose, right? So this also tells you that view, because, you know, here you say more than 50%. You can see the index here, more than 50%. So these are the countries where more than 50% of our exports of Philippines imports happen. Okay, so they buy more from Vietnam, and then we also come into picture and like that. Okay. So this is okay. And then more interesting than this, let's go to other ITC tools. Yeah, this is market access map. And in market access map, you know, what you can identify is which market is better for you and accessible to you. So you choose, select a country, exporting country, and exporting country here is India. India. Destination country, which country? You choose the country now for any other product, anyone. And I'll ask you the product also later on. Anyone, because I told you know that I don't want to teach you anything. I will search Japan. What you want. Huh?
Japan, sir.
And what product, sir?
Sir, sir, rice only, sir.
Okay, so this is Japan, and HS code 1006. Okay, and this is what you are wanting. And now I'm searching. So if India goes to Japan with this product, then the MFN duty. Do you know what is MFN? Most favored nation duty. This is the duty, custom duty applied to all WTO countries. So Japan applies MFN duty, and that is 341 yen, Japanese currency per kilogram, which is coming to about 197.50%. Do you think you can supply rice to Japan?
So I don't think it'll be sustainable.
Yeah, because this shows, because this is the duty. Yeah. And you can see not only that, as you said, may not be sustainable. So you will have to find out from trade maps whether Japan is an importer of rice from India. And because Japan can pay any price, you know, they are more quality conscious, and they are also patriotic country. They will not like tomato sauce from, you know, so if whatever that they can grow there, that is one. And second is that if they import, they will import from certain countries where they would favor the product from. So here you see there are total 13 measures. So these are regulatory, because I told you, country risk. So you have hygiene practices during production related to SPS. SPS, you understand, sanitary and phytosanitary standards, which apply to fruits, vegetables, and all such agricultural products. So you need to meet those standards here. Okay, there are 2 SPS standards, microbiological labeling requirements, 1. So you need to label the rice accordingly, as Japan has its norms. And there is a quarantine requirement. There is a requirement to pass through a specified port of customs. So the rice has to go there. It has to be custom checked and inspected. And, import monitoring, surveillance, and automatic licensing measures are there. And in Japan, basically most of the imports, they happen through the state trading enterprises like Japan Airways Limited, JAL, and something big trading companies are there. So it's for importing, you need to approach them only rather than selling it to anyone. that you wish. So there are regulatory requirements, as you can see. So on the basis of that, I'm trying to ask you, how interesting is Japan? Or do you think, say, if I just change this to Philippines, and you will be surprised. Okay, Philippines, where is Philippines? Yeah. So one small change, India, Philippines, we just now searched 30. Okay, and search. So market access conditions. As you can read the heading, it identifies what is the custom tariff rate, what quota, what remedies, what regulatory, what kind of preferential treatment they give to a particular country. So if you see here, MFN duty is 50%, and the regulatory requirements, total measures are 74. Here also there are requirements, labeling, packaging, etc. So it may not be that easy, but Philippines is a huge, big market, as we have seen in maps. So you can compare markets here. So for example, in access, and now compare. So I want to compare two markets. So let me compare, certain markets. For example, exporting countries, India, and India, and destination country all. So let's pick all, and again the same product, 100630. Yeah, search, and now it will tell you which countries there is no duty, what duty is there, what kind of regulatory measures are there. So it compares all the markets available to you, and then you can choose from there. So you can see Afghanistan only 2.5% duty, Albania 2% duty, Algeria 5% duty, and I can actually vary it. How? For example, I can now change. I have changed it. So it shows reverse. Zimbabwe 7.5%. Okay, and Vietnam 40% duty. So this tells you about the duty. USA only 6.2% duty. So this is the custom duty. This is effectively applied tariff, and this is the import value. So which market imported how much in 2020? So Zimbabwe also imported some rice, but not much. Zambia more than that, but Yemen was a big importer. So you get values here also. USA also is an importer. So like this, you have records here in several pages, and you can check market access. Interesting, no? You can compare markets. You can compare competitors. Which competitors will be there in Philippines or Yemen or USA? You can compare products. You can analyze trade agreements. You can look at custom tariff. You can look at import-export requirement if you are going into a particular country. So there are lots of possibilities. Let me show you something more interesting. Or we have a break now, and then we meet in 10 minutes. What do you suggest? What do you suggest? Huh?
Yes, we can have a break of 10 minutes, and then we can.
Yeah, let's have a break.
A 10 minutes break.
Let's take a break.
Yeah.
Let's have a break, and we resume in 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Thank you.
By 7:15, we'll be back.
Would be better. 7:15, we again come back.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Grab your cup of coffee, tea, and then we are rejuvenated.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
here. But then what happens? They are saying that the buyers are verified. Okay, now this buyer I cannot get in touch with unless I become a member here.
Right,
That was
right,
your
sir.
question, right?
Right, right,
So
right, right. You
these
have to
kind
pay
of,
them and you access to them, you know.
yeah, you have to pay them and then they help you in getting deals and
Accessing
all.
the details.
So if you ask me, your question was like this, very straight, that to what extent this can be helpful to people like you, SMEs like you. Well, not much. I suggest another approach to do this business. The best approach is that, for example, I was showing companies and you got in touch with some companies in certain countries, right? You can simply Google search that fabric upholstery dealers in city XYZ, Paris. I can still find some Google links, yes or no?
Right,
Then,
right.
you know, very interesting, you will find that there is Indian embassy in those countries.
True, true, true.
And all these embassies have a position called First Secretary Commercial. The First Secretary Commercial is not an ambassador. He is a commercial secretary. And his job is, though he is part of the Ministry of the External Affairs, but their job is to help the Ministry of Commerce and Trade in facilitating exports of goods made in India.
Okay, okay.
So
That's
Nelson,
fine.
if you write to them, no, even the embassy, that these companies, 3 companies have shown interest in doing business with us, but I don't know their credibility, creditworthiness, etc. So the embassy will be more than glad, and you will be surprised. They will revert to you. They will say that, thank you for approaching us. We will do the needful for you. Now, you should appreciate that Indian embassies now currently are helping Indian exporters this way. And you utilize that. This will be better than your approaching such, because as you said, the parties based in Delhi or anywhere, Mumbai, you know, they are in only their own marketing. They you know, attract you. They say, I'll get you this and I'll get you that. But that is not the way to go. If they can sell you the other company's data, there is some disturbance. If they can sell you your other competitors and buyers' data, then they can sell your data also to somebody.
Okay.
Please understand. So, you know, you can't rely much on them. So then what is the way to go? So the way to go, real way to go is, the way to go forward is that each one of you please identify that there is an export promotion council pertaining to your area.
Okay.
You know, there is APEDA for fruits and vegetables and this and that agricultural produce. For Anupiari, it is Gems and Jewelry Export Promotion Council. For Anupiari, for other product basket, which is textiles, there is Textile Export Promotion Council. Okay. So if you go to that Export Promotion Council, any council, your council, the council has a website. The council has couple of things to do. So the council also shares data. Let me share, you know, how the data is shared by the council. So let me just give you an example here. You know, like, you know, this is the council. This is a spice board. Okay, I'm just putting a spice board for your information. Okay, so a spice board, and you know, a spice board is headquartered in Cochin, and this Indian Spices Board helps all spice exporters. This is just an example. So like a spice board, engineering products have Engineering Export Promotion Council and things like that. So here you can see what they are doing. They have information about Indian spices. They have list of spices with botanical names, spice growing states, properties, statistics, organic spices. So if you talk about statistics, the statistics which I was showing you on DGCIS, more or less similar kind of statistics. You have monthly estimated export, and you know, you can just check on export statistics and spice, chili and cumin and this and that, and most of the spices you get, you know, 2020-21 compared with over last year. So there is a statistics that you get here, and this Export Promotion Council and others, everyone, they are also having some development programs. So if you check here, Northeastern States Development Program. Okay, now in Northeastern States, this is something which is directly related to you, and you can check what is the program that they have. Okay, so you can see and you can get in touch with the Spice board, and you should take advantage of their programs which they are running, because they are helping in terms of equipment and the scale of assistance. 50% of the cost the Spice board is willing to bear. Okay, so something like that, not just export assistance. And then if I come on marketing, and I just say publicity. So if you talk about publicity, then as part of publicity you have trade fairs. Now you can see here that now this is old because the pandemic, no trade fairs could take place, right? So this is understandable. This is understandable because it's not updated, because we will have a trade fair at this moment, at this point of time, and the participants and visitors will not go, and you will also not go putting up a stall somewhere, okay, because quarantine and those kinds of things. But currently you will know that some boards and commodity boards, they have started having virtual trade fair. Okay, it's like an exhibition. So in the virtual trade fair also, like as we are talking, we can have one-to-one meet. So like on the sideline, so let's say in the auditorium program is going on, but Rajendra and Nelson can always meet for 15 minutes. So you can pick buyers from the list of the participants there, and then you can schedule a meeting there. All that happens digitally, and then we can meet virtually like this. So you can negotiate, you can show samples, you can discuss, you can identify where do they buy from, what do they buy, and things like that. Okay, so I quite agree with you that only the broad macro level data may not help, but macro level data helps you in identifying which are the countries I can concentrate upon.
True.
Yeah, because see, the point is one point, and I can sum it up in one sentence, that there are as many countries in the world as the number of bones in my body. There are as many countries as the number of bones in my body. True. Therefore, one big confusion that any exporter should have or would have is, which countries do I target and where do I focus?
True.
So an SME cannot focus simultaneously on all the alphabetic, right from Afghanistan to Albania to Zimbabwe. So therefore, the research that I'm talking about is helping the exporters in identifying and zeroing down on certain critical markets where I can look at. Okay. So this is the way to go. And so I have shared, and then these export promotion councils, they also sometimes organize buyer-seller meets. Okay. Understand what is a buyer-seller meet? So if the movement is possible, then they invite buyers, and those buyers, then if they know that okay, Northeast produces some excellent herbs and spices, they conduct them there, and if you are a member, then they invite you. So you also get to interact with foreign buyers in your own land. Now, this could be interesting, right? So we need to find out ways, because I tell you, frankly speaking, I also teach sales, international sales, and in current scenario, meeting personally is to a great extent, it has halted completely. And therefore we need to go digital. Even if you are going global, still you need to go digital. So even the market research has to be more digital, and we need to have access to the data which is more reliable. ITC, International Trade Center, gets that data compiled on the basis of the data received from parties like DGCIS, Director General of Commercial Intelligence and Statistics, from all the countries. So that data cannot be fake, it cannot be unreal. But those companies in Mumbai and Delhi which try to fleece you that, okay, you pay me 20,000, I'll give you some data, they you may not really rely on them that much. True, sir. True. But after experience, yes, you can, because it is not much to pay 10,000 for membership of some B2B portal, and then if you get a deal, it is covered in that. It's okay to experience, but I don't suggest that to begin with, because small exporters, they unnecessarily cheat and make money, but they don't help us much.
True, sir.
Yeah.
Very true, sir.
Yeah. So I was showing you those tools, and I wanted to share something more interesting that's going back on trade maps. You know, I think I was showing this market. Yeah. Yeah. So let me change this to India and India. And I will also show you potential today. Okay. I'll show you potential. So India and then exports, and you go here and you see that you have so many countries. Let me change it to only 5 countries because Aruna Pyari is not interested in so many countries at a time. So just update and 5 countries will be more than adequate. Okay, to buy 1 country is also adequate. So Aruna Pyari, these are the countries. You have Egypt, you have USA, you have Colombia, you have Sri Lanka, you have Bangladesh. And you only said Aruna Pyari. You see, you know, your data is also right because you said Bangladesh is the highest buyer. So you can see Bangladesh. If I take my cursor here, it shows that Bangladesh is buying 36% of your merchandise furnishing fabric from India. But Colombia in Latin America, Sri Lanka, USA, these are also markets. So you can look at these markets, right? So if I want to show you something more interesting, then let me take you to the potential map, export potential map here. That is in other ITC tools. Okay. So, and this should be interesting again for each one of you. Look here. Yeah. So here what we are going to do is, let me minimize this. Yeah. So here, yeah. Here this says export potential map. So what is the export potential for search a product or country? So you can look at export potential for, you tell me one product. Anybody in bamboo baskets here? Or I take your products, any product, give me an HS code. Hello. Give me an HS code. We want to search what is the export potential for product X in a particular country.
Sir, since the participants are not very well aware with the HS code, maybe we can search with the product name, sir. Would it be possible?
No, this is product hierarchy. Okay. So we'll have to go by this. Okay, let's pick, you know, something from 0804. This is no 0804 is okay. 0804330 pineapples. Okay, so this somebody was talking about pineapples, no? Pineapples fresh or dried. Now this is dried pineapple. It's processed. It's not juice, but it's either pineapple fresh or dried. I'm just giving an example. So you picked it from there. Okay, from the product hierarchy, HS codes only. And what it says is that you have untapped export potential of this much, but it doesn't talk about you have to explore markets and you have to explore exporters. So if I say explore exporters, then for this product, export potential is high in world market, in market world, than where the market is. Costa Rica. Costa Rica actual exports are 1.3 billion, so only this much. Philippines, Taiwan, you can see. Okay. So let's check which country that we are looking at. Search a country. So if I want to search, let me go back in world market. Okay, or let's search a country, say India. Okay, so no, I'll have to change the query. I'll have to make it explore markets, explore markets. So export potential for exporter world for this pineapple. Now I'll change this world exporter to India. So I'm picking India here. So Indian pineapple and this product. And you see where is the market? China. Export potential is 1 million and you are not doing anything. Russia, this is the potential and you are doing only $76,000. Whereas the potential is $200, $200,000. Germany, the potential is 600 and you are doing only $7,000. You see, Netherlands. So there is huge potential for pineapple and pineapple fresh or dried, both. Okay. And you can be more specific here. You can choose another product. Let's go to product like imitation jewelry. We were saying 71 something, right? So 71, what was that? Anyone remembers?
711,719.
711,719. Yeah, imitation jewelry of best metal. So for exporter India, imitation jewelry, if you look at the export potential in USA is $38 million and actual exports is only less than half. So untapped potential remaining, you can see that here, right? You see, this is the potential in Canada, France also huge potential. So Aruna Pyari, there is a huge market for you and you can look at one of these markets like Austria, France, if you love Europe, okay? Or China, you don't have to, because China, you will not match their price and all. So difficult. And if you see UAE,
France, I got inquiry in 2000, sir.
And you also named UAE, so I want to comment on UAE.
UAE also.
UAE also, then you see UAE export potential is only 6.3 million, but actual exports are more than 6.3 million. Can you see that?
How about African countries? How about African countries, sir?
Yeah, so African countries, Nigeria is there, but you see Nigeria, more than the potential you are exporting to Nigeria. What happens because Nigeria then has become a hub and then it is exporting to other countries nearby, Ivory Coast and Togo and Burkina Faso, and a lot of poor countries are close to Nigeria. So you have to then check, for a particular market, for example, say one of the African countries, let's say Kenya or Tanzania.
So how about Seychelles? How about Seychelles?
What?
How about Seychelles? Seychelles.
Sicily, okay.
Yes,
so, okay. So let's
Seychelles.
Okay, Seychelles. SEY Seychelles. Sicily. Okay, Seychelles. So Seychelles, for exporter India, Seychelles market. Let me see if it shows something. Yeah. Does it show something? USA, China. Let me see what are these markets. Germany, Austria, France. And I think that's it. Sicily, it's not showing anything.
Okay, sir.
Could be very small. Actually, maybe you are not directly exporting there. So maybe Seychelles is being catered by South Africa or some other place. Okay.
They are interested in our traditional textile design, sir. That's why. I got some friends there. That's why I'm asking, sir. Sir, how about Thailand also? How about Thailand?
You can check. I have shown you the tool.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You just put HS code, put Thailand, put for India, check what is the potential. It tells you the gap. Certain countries you are already exporting, over exporting, because those countries are hubs. Like UAE and such countries, they have become a hub. Hub, because UAE own market is very less. Because you don't export to Pakistan, no. So Pakistan also is routed through UAE. Sometimes you may not export to Ethiopia. Ethiopia may be going through UAE, something like that. So this happens. It's part of the business and trade. Okay. So with that, I think I just wanted to talk to you about some of the ways that you can. Do you have any questions on this? And I want to show one more tool, that cultural one, and then I can discuss some marketing strategies. Okay. So I have shown you about websites, companies, the embassy, the trade promotion body. So for culture, what you can do is you can check, this is a website called Hofstede. And in Hofstede is an anthropologist, and he does a lot of research on the cross-cultural parameters. So what you do is you can compare countries here. Okay, how do you compare countries? For example, let me put India also so that we understand India. And you can take any countries of your choice. Can you name some countries, 2-3 countries you would like to check their cultures?
Brazil.
Okay, so I'll put Brazil. Brazil is like India, only an emerging economy. So we can see but how Brazil is similar or dissimilar to India. And can you put some countries which are neither like Brazil or India, because both of these are emerging economies. So let us put some developed economies.
Denmark.
Okay, so Denmark.
Maldives.
Okay, so Denmark. All right. So you have one European.
Tell us some rich countries, sir. Some rich countries, sir.
Okay, put the rich.
Please tell us some rich countries where buying capacity is very high.
Which one? Japan? Shall I put Japan?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so we put Japan. Right. So now you have 4 countries here, and you see how they are figuring in terms of their, the Hofstede, this thing, cultural parameters. Yeah. I'll reduce the size. What did I do? Sorry. Yeah. I think did I make a mistake? Yeah. Oh, that's lost. The data is lost. Yeah. Okay, I'll close this. I will be here. Home. And somehow that has gone. 1 second. I'll have to do it again. Yeah. Compare countries and type a country. I'll go very fast. India. 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 Why is it not showing?
So you just accept the cookies.
Cookies? No cookies. Let me just once again. It was showing no. I was just enlarging it and it lost. Okay, so India. Come on. Yeah, good. So Japan. And what did you say? Brazil. And what was that? Denmark. Yeah. So you can see here how these countries are very different. So let's start here on power distance. Power distance, the distance of power between 2 people, like maybe husband and wife, boss and subordinate, or anyone. Okay, so you can see Denmark has least power distance. That means Denmark is more equal society. But if you do business in India, we are a high power distance country. So we have bosses and subordinates. For example, if my uncle or elder brother is transacting business, then I cannot intervene or interrupt them or something like that, because that's uncourteous. Brazil is also like India, has high power distance. This score is out of 100. But Japan, it's not as much as India, but all these 3 countries are very different from Denmark, because Denmark, there is no power distance. You can call somebody by first name, even if you are CEO of the company. I don't care. I mean, like in USA also has low power distance. So I hope you can, match this when you do business. Even if you are talking to Walmart, you are addressing Sam Walton, you can say, hi, Sam, how are you today? You don't have to, because unlike India, the power distance is low there. And Denmark, individualism is very high. In USA also, you'll find this. it's more individualistic. But if you talk about Brazil and India and Japan, these are more collectivistic countries. So Denmark is standing out here. Okay, they live for themselves. They don't live collectively for, like we Indians, we more live for our family and the society and the extended family and things like that. And this is very interesting. Masculinity doesn't mean only gender, but also the competitiveness and the strength of the economy. And you see Japan is highly competitive. Whatever brands that they've created in the world, any brand you talk about, whether it is Sony or Mitsubishi or Daikin or Hitachi or, or Toyota or Honda, those brands are wonderful, and they know none of the brands from America or China or India can beat them in whatever category of businesses they are. And then you see India is the next most, but there is a huge difference between our masculinity and Japanese masculinity, and Denmark is not masculine at all. And Denmark therefore depends a lot on imports. Okay, Denmark depends a lot on imports. And uncertainty avoidance, if you see, this is again culture. And Japan, because they live with earthquakes and tsunamis and volcanoes, they cannot tolerate uncertainties. They are very high uncertainty avoidance ranking, whereas Brazil is also ranking high. But India, we are okay with uncertainty. And here I have a word of caution for Indian exporters, because when you quote delivery schedule, etc., then we shouldn't be talking uncertain. One of the reasons why we don't do business, too much export business, is because we say that I will try to dispatch your material as early as possible, and we keep an element of uncertainty. We are never, so if you can't, that's where, you can't do business with Japan. It's very difficult, because Japan wants, commitment is commitment. Okay, you can't be late by even 1 hour. I'm sure you must have heard about stories that some train driver who made the train reach late by a couple of minutes or 1 minute, and he was fired in Japan. Okay, so they cannot live with uncertainty, but we are okay with uncertainty because it's ingrained in our culture. And long-term orientation, Japan has that, but India 51 score, but Denmark doesn't have long-term orientation. Now, what to learn here? Long-term orientation, when Denmark doesn't have, Denmark could be a good market for imitation jewelry or furnishing fabric, because this also reflects in the indulgence. Because you don't have long-term orientation, your indulgence is high. Indulgence means you keep on buying and buying. You don't like to save, unlike Indians. And you see, India is the least indulging country, because in India we have got money, but we don't buy, because we don't indulge. We want to save and invest and, remain secure for the future. But, if you look at Denmark and USA, those countries are high on indulgence. So Aruna Pyari, the message is that because your products like imitation jewelry and upholstery, these are more indulgence related products. There are markets where they would love to change their fabric, their jewelry very often. And so you need to hit such countries which are high on indulgence. But you can't hit a country like Japan, because Japan is not that high on indulgence. You understand? Because Japan, if they want to buy, they can buy diamonds, but they don't really want to wear that kind of a jewelry. It's all about culture. So culture plays very important role.
Okay.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Okay,
this Japan says to US or Denmark that if you need loan, I can give you loan. You can take money from us, Japan, and then you can buy imitation jewelry or diamonds or anything, or Apple phones, and you can live in debt. Okay, you can keep paying your credit card, and if you don't have money, we can give you more loan. But Japan is so solid that despite having money, they will not buy.
I understand.
So that's a mindset. That's a culture. So cultures are very important when we talk about exports, and you need to relate it, friends. You need to relate it with your products. Handicrafts also. Handicraft is not something that poor people will buy in Africa.
Okay.
You need to have a taste. You need to be part of a developed market. So therefore, per capita income, disposable income has to be very high. So there are also tools, and very quickly I will show you, because time is short, but there are thousands of things to show. So if you want to filter out which are the top countries, big countries, then statisticstimes.com. So let me just very quick. So on the economy, This shows which are the top 10 largest economies in the world. This shows which are the poorest countries by GDP per capita. Okay, so suppose my products are meant for poor countries, then I hit here. And then I look at these countries: South Sudan, Burundi, Eritrea, Malawi, yeah, these countries, Benin, Chad, Zimbabwe, etc. But if you want rich countries, then the way to go is here. Yeah, where the per capita income, countries by GDP per capita. Okay, so world GDP per capita ranking. So if you see ranking, then per capita income is very high in these countries: Luxembourg, Macau, Ireland, Norway, Iceland, Qatar. Denmark is also among the top high countries here, right? So you see, this is how you look at. So this gives you an idea about what kind of GDP per capita is there. Yeah. So certain products, they go into those countries which are very rich and all. Right, friends?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So with that, I have shown you a lot of tools, and I would now like to discuss for, remaining time, the marketing strategy, the way forward. All right.
Yes, sir. Okay,
Okay.
please continue.
Okay. So basically there, it's important that everything is all about marketing, how you market yourself. Now, so there are certain ways, because otherwise exporters, they will fail. So what is the right way to market? This is what I'm trying to tell you how to do that. So mostly I've told you that people fail because they don't identify the right market. They don't adapt to the products. They assign marketing to the wrong people. They connect with the wrong distributors, and they do not do all the research. Yeah. So any company has to see whether what is your current situation and how you can grow. Okay, first and foremost, basically what happens is you can use ethnocentric approach. That if you think that there are people who are likely to love Manipur arts or handicrafts, and if you think that they have to be Indians, the way they will appreciate, then maybe you can look at ethnocentric approach and those countries where Indian population, Indian diaspora is there. But otherwise, if you are thinking like McDonald's or KFC, then you will have to have a geocentric approach and a world view, thinking that entire world is similar and you take your products there. Yeah. So here, first and foremost, I was discussing with you that should you go abroad, and the answer is yes. Then I have already discussed with you which markets should you enter. Well, you enter markets which have a lot of potential. Okay, now the question is, how should I enter them? So you need an entry strategy. And if I share with you some of the, like you were asking me about pineapple process, the same way Heinz tomato ketchup company, they looked at emerging markets like India, Indonesia, Russia, Brazil, and China. These six countries: China, Indonesia, India, Russia, Brazil. And they identified that our goal is to grow 20% of Heinz revenues from these markets, because Heinz cannot do much business in USA and Europe because those markets are not growing, partly because of the GDP growth rate, partly because people are becoming health conscious and they don't want much of the processed foods. They are buying more herbal organic foods, and they can afford that also. So if Heinz has to strategize, they are looking at tailoring the products to local tastes. So same way, Manipur, you have certain products, but I think, if you can do some processing and if you can tailor that to the taste of the local, for example, chili sauce. So in India, maybe chili sauce, or in China, particularly chili sauce will go well. China, they like soya sauce rather than tomato sauce. Okay. And you need innovations to lower your prices. So if you're talking about African market, you were saying no, Aruna Priya, Aruna Pyari, that you will look at African market for imitation jewelry, then I think lower prices as compared to Denmark or Spain. Yeah, that is required. And you need patience, and you need to work hard to build relationships with the distributors, overseas agents, and something like that. Customers want convenient, high quality products at good prices. So, you stand competition, and that's global competition. It is important that you have make your product applicable, your product is available in that market and also at the affordable price, and you must have an emotional connect with that market. Okay, so couple of strategies. How would you do business? One is, look, you can do direct exporting if you are big enough. But if you are afraid and if you fear that you will fail, then what you can do is you can give your consignment, your product to somebody who is already an export house. And I'm sure you will have some export houses in Imphal. There are many
I'll
export
do that.
houses in.
I'll start with indirect, sir.
You
No,
want
not
to
direct.
start with indirect?
Yes, sir. With our government e-marketing websites.
Okay, so if you are talking about e-marketing, then that becomes direct. Okay, because you can fulfill through Amazon. You can be available and you can sell through their platforms, Amazon or Alibaba.com and things like that. But if you're talking a bit about indirect, what happens is that you will give your consignment, imitation jewelry and furnishing fabric to some textile exporter from India, say Adani Exports, and then that Adani Exports will export in that country. So you will not get any idea about how they are exporting, what price they are exporting. They will pay you, but you will not get the premium.
I think direct is better. I think
direct is always better.
Yeah,
This is
it's
where
better,
we are
sir.
trying to build the capacity with FIEO na. FIEO के साथ हम इसीलिए
But
आप
I
लोग
lost some money in foreign countries. That's why I'm saying so many things.
Aruna, you lost money because maybe you did not have the experience.
Yes, sir.
Maybe you did not negotiate well. Maybe you did not negotiate good terms of the LC or payment terms. Okay. So if you are completely aware about the procedures, documentation and everything, the chances of your going wrong will be minimized. Minimized, I am saying. I'm not saying that it will be zero risk. Sometimes exports are better than domestic sales. You get your money when you ship. When you hand over the consignment at the airport, you can claim your money, I'm saying. Because just a shipping bill, but I have to negotiate it that way. Okay.
Okay, sir.
It is rather very, very important. Yeah. So I'm saying that you can do direct, but if you are afraid, initially 1 or 2 consignments you can do indirect. Then there are a lot of approaches, like you can license your business to somebody. Licensing, licensing is applicable more to large businesses. For example, Arrow Shirts is American brand, but Arrow is manufactured in India by Arvind Mills. Okay, Arvind also doesn't manufacture. Arvind can get it stitched in Bangladesh because cost of stitching, tailoring is lower in Bangladesh.
Yeah. I know
in
that.
this global sourcing world, what
Went to
happens
their
is that
export house, sir.
Yeah.
Bongo Bazaar, I visited, sir. I know that.
Yeah.
Dhaka.
So there are a lot of approaches there. Some strategies are highly risky, some strategies are less risky. The way that I want to suggest you is that please don't take just your products. You need to think curative marketing, curative in the sense that you need to offer a solution to the people's problem in the world. First and foremost, don't sell commodities, please brand them. It's very important. Okay, brand them, differentiate your offerings, adapt your product, localize it to suit the requirements and taste of those local markets. Okay,
Yes, sir.
try and create an emotional connect, which is called love mark. No gimmicks, but branding is very important. So if you are thinking that you will do commodity business, no, it's a surplus society. There are thousands of suppliers of commodities. Rice suppliers, if you look at, you will know that there would be 10,000 suppliers of rice. You can check on India Mart, exporters of rice. So where is the difference? Okay, so Aruna Pyari, then you have to market yourself, your firm,
Yes, sir.
your
Yes, sir.
brand, your
Yes.
commitment,
Yes, sir.
your promise. Brand is a promise.
Okay, sir.
The trust, very important.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you need to connect with your buyer personally, emotionally, properly.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and then you have to just tell them that, okay, initially, if they are not convinced, they can buy a small lot. So if not full container load, let it be part of the container or some business. Let them try out. So once they get feedback on the samples or the products, then they can place a big order on you.
Okay.
Then when the world opens, you can travel also to those countries. when you travel to that country, you should also meet that first secretary commercial in the Indian embassy, thanking him. Right? So there is a way to go.
Right.
Because when you go, then those foreign agents and buyers, they can take you around. You can observe people. What do they wear? What kind of jewelry? Why do they wear that kind of a jewelry? Right?
Right, sir.
So there is no shortcut to observation. The best market research is when you are moving in that country. Okay? And then, of course, there will be trade shows and exhibitions taking place, so you can participate in them little later. But
Okay,
this
sir.
is the way forward that I'm trying to suggest.
Okay,
Branding
sir.
is very important. Please don't export commodities. Friends from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, it's my appeal that India is shortchanging itself by exporting commodities. It's a crime to export commodities. I mean, not crime, but what I'm saying is that what value do you get when you export a pineapple? How much do you get for a pineapple? But when you convert that pineapple into pulp, when you dry that pineapple, when you have converted into a juice. So I was in Gangtok, Sikkim, and you will be surprised what I saw. In one of the conferences in Gangtok, in the conference table, on the delegates table, they placed a dry fruit container. It had dry banana, it had dry papaya, it had dry pineapple, dry mango, and some cashews, and something very interesting. And then I saw that it is actually packaged in Thailand, and it has come back to India. But on the package, I read something very interesting, and it said that these are organically grown fruits in northeastern India, sourced from northeast India, and processed and packaged in Thailand. Now you see, you are importing that. Don't you think it's a crime?
You are right.
High unit value realization per kilogram, per meter, that fabric has to be high. So I'm trying to give you a message here, because you talked about textile. So when you put an element of design in the textile, that this furnishing fabric is designed by XYZ. Okay.
So I am designer of the textile ministry.
Okay,
Sir.
excellent. So you market yourself. Personal marketing is required.
Thank you, sir.
I'm so sorry I didn't know about your background.
No problem, sir.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that you need to brand, and which is the way to go, because commodities have low love and brands have high love, high respect. If people respect the brand, they pay a premium. And sometimes, you need to go beyond the brand and convert the brand into a love mark. What is a love mark? For example, certain products like Apple or Harley Davidson, it's a love mark. Louis Vuitton is a love mark. What is the price of a Louis Vuitton purse if you get it from an DLF Emporium Mall in Delhi?
So high, sir. In
so
comparison
high.
with
You can't get a purse, decent one, for less than a lakh of rupees, no?
Yes.
So I think my message is loud and clear to you. There are thousands of examples.
Yes, sir.
Sitting in Kolkata, we have a lot of tanneries here, and I can tell you that leather in bulk goes to Italy, gets processed there, and then they stamp it, finest Italian leather. Finest Italian leather, that same piece of leather comes back to India, then you buy that and you say finest Italian leather.
Yeah,
Come
just like our pineapple.
Yeah, just like our pineapple. So I leave it to you, marketing strategy. Create brand, create love mark. Okay, don't be like China, where they are, a fad in the sense that it's a short fashion cycle. People fall in love with that product, but they don't love it that much, nor do they respect it. So Chinese products are bad. You have seen China was a fad. We bought a lot of Chinese lights and Chinese products, but they are really cheap in the sense quality wise also. But India has an advantage. So, what you do is you add some services to your products, you augment your product, you make your product better, and then you do some branding, mostly global branding and things like that. And then you also be sensitive about the culture. I'm just showing you through this picture that, a cosmetic company, will Lakme or Revlon or Maybelline or anybody, They will not advertise in an Islamic conservative country, cultural country, like, as you can see in this picture, that this lady is so clad and, dressed well. Okay, so no unnecessary exposure. So even your promotion advertising has to be carefully done. Again, another example of the cultural risk, I'm sensitizing you. This Barbie doll, the blonde model, is okay in US and Europe, but it's just not okay in an Islamic country or a country which is conservative. So you can see in India or Africa, how will they market this Barbie doll? So Barbie doll in India is wearing a sari also, and Barbie doll in India is in different avatars and roles. She's a professor, she's an astronaut, and things like that. And of course, friends, you need to take care of the packaging and the labeling, because every country has its own packaging and labeling requirements. I was trying to show you when I was discussing on the market access maps. And then pricing strategy. So mostly, don't go with your just looking at your costs and things like that. You need to do cost plus in the sense that, okay, what is your fixed cost, what is your variable cost, and what are the Incoterms. And I will also share about Incoterms, as I promised you. I'm coming to that. Your quotes should be competitive. Your quote should be demand based as to what is the kind of demand and what is the willingness to pay in that particular market. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that some markets are more price sensitive than others. Do you agree? Some markets are more price sensitive than others. India is a price sensitive market.
Okay, sir.
But every market is not that price sensitive. Africa is a price sensitive market, right? So in certain markets, people can pay a premium. And so you need to do some research on your own, that what is the tendency of that market or that consumer to pay for your products. If they love your product, say that black aromatic rice, then they should be willing to pay a hefty premium. Somebody who loves my green tea from India, organic herbal tulsi tea, then you should pay a premium. If you want aloe vera Ayurvedic product or formulations from India, then you please pay a premium. If you want my turmeric curcumin, then you pay a premium. Yes or no? Because all food products or all everything is not the same. You need to pay a premium. You pay a premium when you buy wheat, MP Sharbati wheat. Yes or no? As compared to other wheat, basmati rice, you pay a premium.
Yes.
So premium has to be charged, but you need to identify whether the market is willing to pay a premium. That's again very interesting. So pricing strategy you need to work out. And this is about the Incoterms, friends. So on Incoterms, what happens? Let me just show you. And here, these Incoterms are international commercial terms. And you can see these are 3 letters, alphabets. EXW is X-Works. X-Works, say for example, your factory is in Imphal, so you say that my price is X-Works, so you don't have any risk, then every risk is to the buyer. So the buyer will pay for the airlifting or the shipping or freight or anything, Bangladesh or whatever country. And then this is FCA, that means free carrier. That means what you're doing is that you are delivering the products to a named place, say Kolkata, Haldia, and only that much is your responsibility. After that, it is buyer's responsibility. So the blue line, dark blue line is buyer, and this light blue is the seller. Okay. And then you see you have CPT, that means carriage paid to. So what happens is in this case is that sometimes you agree that you will pay the freight up to the port in Mombasa in Kenya. So then thereafter or it can be the port here, say Kolkata port or Haldia port. So CPT, you define the named place of destination and you say that delivery terms are delivery will be made in Mombasa or Netherlands or Calcutta. Okay, and delivered at place. So you define which place you are delivering. So if you are saying Denmark, then you need to say Copenhagen and exact address also. So it is your responsibility to deliver to that place, and then delivered at place but unloaded. That means it will be lying in the truck. You can offload from that truck, okay, or from the ship. Delivered at place but unloaded. and delivered duty paid. So sometimes DDP means I have to pay the duty, and I was showing you today the MFN duties which are applying on several products. So what are the terms? So there are only 11 Incoterms, and you need to say EXW or FOB or FCA free carrier or delivery duty paid or delivered unloaded, and you need to define the place. All that will also be covered during the export documentation and procedures, as Nelson was asking that question. So don't you worry much. But without Incoterms, they will not teach you those terms. So there are 7 terms which apply to any mode of transport which is multimodal, but to the sea there are 4 more terms which are actually like, I can show you here. I'll have to decrease the size. Yeah. Okay, so these are for waterways. You have FOB, free on board, etc. And what I'm saying is that you need to generate leads through trade maps, trade portals. You can do a lot of website marketing, search engine optimization, digital marketing, AdWords and all. And I'm sure, Jui, you must be organizing sessions for them on this. Yeah, digital marketing and all.
Yes, sir. We have sessions on digital marketing tomorrow.
So I'm not covering much, but it's part of the marketing strategy.
Yes, sir.
And you can use e-commerce and social media today. So Facebook to Instagram, these are all global media, and you can also be there and you can promote. You can do virtual sales calls face-to-face and all that. And basically my message is that you need to use marketing to build brand India, brand of your organization, brand you, Aruna Pyari, brand the product, brand the experience, and you need to go digitally on that. So in essence, what I want to communicate was that you need to think global, act local, but you must go digital. So on dot, I have finished my presentation. And I hope these 3 hours with me in terms of screening, identifying and selecting markets, as well as cooking some preliminary prima facie marketing strategy of branding your products and not carrying commodities abroad, with the right kind of pricing, with proper promotion, digital, etc., and with the help of the embassy and trade promotion organization, should work in favor of every exporter and small and medium enterprises based in Manipur. So Jui and Professor Ibohal, I would be glad to take some questions from the illustrious participants.
Yeah, now the floor is open for the discussion. Of course, we have got so much of interaction in between, but still, if there is any other question, Professor is ready to interact with you and pay such a valuable input for the benefits of you all. Yes, anybody?
Sir, I feel so encouraged today, but I'll ask you all, when the pandemic will end? We want to ask.
What? I couldn't get you.
When this pandemic situation will be over. So that is what everybody is looking for. Yes, my dear friends from...
So your question was, you commented or you asked a question?
No,
one more thing, sir.
Yeah, okay, there is a question.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, sir. I think in the presentation, I have seen that in the market strategy, the potential market and the real marketing, the real marketing was cross the potential one. Why it was so?
So I told you that the market potential means because there is a population and X, because it is projected. The demand is projected, forecasted that, okay, UAE can import this much of this product. But sometimes what happens is that this market, the importing country, can channelize the imports to some other country. I give you an example. Suppose you import bike parts or computers, laptops, mobiles. Then from India, you further export to Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. This is what happens.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a behavior. Sometimes people do like that. Nita Ambani, to buy the crockery for Antilia, she went to Colombo. So Sri Lanka's import Sri Lanka also catered to Indian market, because Nita Ambani from India flew in her jet, private jet, Colombo to buy the crockery with a crew of 30, not crew, her friends, 30 friends, other women. And they also bought crockery from there. They brought full plane full of crockery. And you know why she went to Colombo? Because some sale was going on, discount was on.
So anything may happen in
anything, yeah.
This type of business.
Yeah.
Sir, so nice of you.
I'll tell you, to answer your question better, let me give you one more example and you'll understand what I mean to say.
Oh, great, great. It will be great.
Yeah, Singapore. Singapore is such a small country.
Yeah.
But if you see books and all, because it's a trading hub. So Singapore import potential is very high.
I see.
But what does Singapore do with all that import? Well, Singapore then ships that imports to Malaysia, Philippines, Australia, New Zealand. You understand? Mauritius. So Singapore, being a hub can cater to. So the real and potential, the difference is because those markets, those importing markets are acting like a hub.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Okay. Yeah. Well, one more thing, Professor. We can also think of making these northern states, especially Manipur, as a part of the global manufacturing value chains. That means the India, Myanmar, and Thailand trilateral highway, it is passing through Manipur segment, Moderator. Even the Trans-Asian Railway is passing through in this segment. And India is having free trade agreement with the ASEAN countries. And that's why we need to focus more on the India-ASEAN free trade engagement. So if that is the case, then some of the products we can import and assemble here and then sell it across the globe. So that's why we can also think of just looking at import and export both through value addition, and maybe one is in the locally available products and the resources. Another is the skill set which we have can add certain values and then market it the world over. So that is the kind of a thing which we are looking forward to. So that's why we just want to see more of these, international marketing strategies, the mode of entry, the engagement, even small things. Because ours over here, there is no any big businesses, but we have a very good potentials about the bamboos, for instance, as a case in point, bamboo items, n number of items, even for the incense sticks, agarbatti sticks, it is made out of bamboos. So that's why we have a huge potential for that. But only thing is that our, entrepreneurs are not getting that much kind of a acquaintances. So that's why I just would like you to just throw a little bit on that line about India's engagement with Southeast Asian countries, ASEAN, so that at least through this continental, connectivity, we can get certain benefits, sir.
See, Professor, if you go to India Trade Portal,
okay,
you can see which are the agreements that are in force.
That's true.
And Indo-ASEAN trade agreement is also available there. Okay, however, new negotiations are going on. As you are talking about global value chain, most of the countries in the world are, trying to re-engineer and work on their making the value chains smarter. Right? So there is an opportunity, and I'm sure the Commerce Ministry must be working on that.
True.
But existing agreements, current agreements, bilateral ones, you can get them on India Trade Portal.
Okay.
India Trade Portal is a rich source of information.
True.
Not only for this, but also which are the top 25 partner countries of India in terms of exports and imports.
Sir, we are having a session especially on Indian Trade Portal.
Okay. Yes.
So
in the third day.
Indira Rajkumari has raised a hand, so we can check with her.
Yes, Indira Rajkumari. If you want to speak, kindly unmute and speak. Indira.
Ronald is there.
Ronald is here. There is a raise of hands.
May I ask, sir?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
I am not sure whether my question would be relevant with this particular session, but the thing is that Sir Rajendra sir has mentioned about some exporters who had cheated with the quality of their exports. So what are the institutions which can check the quality of the exports?
See, now, Ronald, nowadays there are inspection agencies.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Earlier also there used to be, but they trusted. The buyer trusted. But couple of instances, then what happens? Suppose I cheat you. Then other buyers and you will not trust my other exporters also from my country. It gets generalized, it gets stereotyped. So what happens nowadays is that there are third-party inspection agencies. The buyer ensures, suppose as I was showing you Incoterms, it is X works. So when I'm packaging those pineapples, then somebody comes and inspects the quality and certifies. So my terms of delivery over, I have handed over, I packed the proper pineapples as requested by you. Now, because the liability of shipping and everything is onto you, however, I'm helping you because you are in a foreign country. So suppose the consignment is airlifting. So the terms of trade is, I'm using air cargo. So it's your preferred airline. The freight is to your account. You understand?
Yes.
Insurance has to be there, because what if the pineapple gets bad there the moment it reaches there in Denmark? You don't want it. It's rejected completely. So as an importer, you paid me. I got my money because I got my pineapples inspected. Yes or no? So I got my money, you paid. But you also cannot suffer because you did not get the quality that you wanted. So there is an arrangement of insurance, no? Right? So you will then raise the insurance claim and you can get that done, which is again part of documentation and it will be dealt there. So there are agencies nowadays. Yeah. Indira, question or the hand is raised by mistake. If no other question, then I would simply say thanks and wish everyone great success. Okay, the world is our playground, and we in India hold a lot of potential to showcase what we can do. And I think, let me just wish you best of luck. Do well, do flourish, keep learning. Knowledge is never ending. Knowledge, skills, and right mental attitude, and it can take you places in the global trading scenario. Thank you so much. Joey, Professor Ibohal, nice meeting you just after a week.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. We'll look forward to meeting you frequently, sir.
Pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Jain, sir.
Thank you so much to all the participants also who have been so patient. It's 8:40 in the night, but everybody is sitting in the room. Dr. Sharma speak. Thank you once again, sir, and thank you, participants.
Most welcome, ma'am. Most welcome, ma'am.
Okay, we don't have any more things to discuss for today.
Yeah, Joey, somebody is asking the PDF of the international marketing strategy.
Yes, sir.
So I'll request you have a copy you can share.
Okay, sir. I'll definitely do that, sir.
Please share it with
Please,
them.
please do so, ma'am.
Yeah,
Please
yeah,
do.
she'll share. She'll share.
That will be great, sir.
Okay.
So this is international marketing strategies thing. I will share. I have.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
All the best. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. And we shall be meeting again tomorrow by 5. So
Yes, sir.
at least 15 minutes before 5, we'll be opening this link. And all of you are again requested to join in time, and we'll be having another wonderful session.
Tomorrow on digital marketing.
Yes, of course, so many other inputs, and we have got the basics from Professor Rajendra Sharma. In fact, you have just got the holistic view of the entire marketing, international marketing activities on, and so many nitty-gritty things you're supposed to sit with. And today is just the beginning. We have a very good beginning. I'm just looking forward to everyone will be getting that kind of a transformation at the end of this course, and looking forward to making a successful entrepreneur, especially in the export related businesses. So with that note, I once again express my heartfelt thanks to Professor Rajendra Sharma from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade for sparing such a wonderful time with all of us in spite of a whole lot of his busy schedules. So looking forward to keeping in touch in future for any kind of a developmental change things to happen in this part of the country. And hopefully, as I myself is from the academics, we have another additional relationship with the academics. So that's why we just would like to
extending that relationship of academics. Since you are there in IMPHAL, let's work on some academic paper on enhancing exports from Manipur.
Yes, we definitely,
because we have people who can respond to our questionnaire, and then we can solve certain problems, and that paper can have certain practical implications.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
we have
sir, I got a paper. It was published in IMPHAL Free Press last year, sir.
Okay.
I got a paper.
Yeah,
on
that's
export,
great.
export
So
possibilities of Manipur
you also collaborate with us, and it's
we can take up these entrepreneurial units as a case in point for study, and
That's
even
what.
for the case discussion in the class publications. Yeah, that we can just say to it. So that's why when the pandemic situation is improved,
it makes an interesting paper, a good one, and I am sure any journal will be more than keen on publishing that, because hardly there are papers which throw light on the reality on the ground.
That's true. That's true. So we'll be happy to invite you in Manipur if the situation improves. And in fact, you can also see the the jewel of India, the Manipur is today. So
I look forward to. It's a beautiful place. I just heard that. But I look forward to.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, once again, and kindly convey my best regards to Professor K. Rangarajan ji, who's the in charge of your IIFT in Kolkata, because I was attending few programs conducted by him under the Strategic Management Forum of India as the International Business Strategy. And of course, recently we joined as a part of AICT and Atal, this FDP program. So that way we can just think of promoting something, and the benefits may be percolated down to different young minds of our region and who can become a successful entrepreneur in the years to come. With that note, I just stop over here. And in fact, good night to everyone, and we'll be meeting again tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you and good
Beautiful,
night.
sir. Thank you, sir. Ibohal, sir. Thank you, Ibohal, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Professor, sir. Sir Rajendra sir, thank you so much for all this sharing, and we like, I mean, we look forward, as you say, very much to your teachings and guidance. So
Pleasure.
always
My
thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good night all. Good night.